Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Well, hours after threatening to wipe out a whole civilization, we've got another taco trade, another U-turn. How do we play that now? How do we invest? What do we do next? All of those questions, lots of new members coming in. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you so much indeed. Lots of new members joining this morning. We do appreciate it. So how do we trade? What do we do next? I'm going to break it all down for you, and we're going to put it all into some context. We're going to get all the updates, what we should buy, what we should sell, what comes next, and then we'll have an on-stage event where I'll share all my trades with you on Discord and Electrum right after this. We've also got the FOMC minutes today, and we've also got the inflation numbers tomorrow. So let's break it all down. Let's get straight into it, and let's start with our breaking news story this morning. Here we go,
to the podium,
live. Let's get straight into it. Here we go.
Iran has been a threat to the United States and the free world for 47 years. Chants of death to America, targeting our people, killing Americans, lying and blackmailing their way toward a nuclear weapon, so they thought. No longer. Not on our watch. Other presidents marked time and kicked the can down the road. President Trump made history. From the strike that took out Qasem Soleimani, to tearing up the disastrous Obama-Iran deal, to the precision campaign that obliterated Iran's nuclear sites in Operation Midnight Hammer, to the decisive military victory we just achieved in Operation Epic Fury. No other president has shown the courage and resolve of this commander-in-chief. President Trump forged this moment. Iran begged for this ceasefire, and we all know it. As the President truth this morning, a big day for world peace. Iran wants it to happen. They've had enough. Operation Epic Fury was a historic and overwhelming victory on the battlefield. A capital V military victory. By any measure, Epic Fury decimated Iran's military and rendered it combat ineffective for years to come. You see, in less than 40 days, one of our combatant commands, Central Command, CENTCOM, using less than 10% of America's total combat power, dismantled one of the world's largest militaries. The world's leading state sponsor of terrorism proved utterly incapable of defending itself, its people, or its territory. We untied just a fraction of our strength, and Iran suffered a devastating military defeat. Together with our Israeli partners, America's military achieved every single objective, on plan, on schedule, exactly as laid out from day one. Iran's Navy is at the bottom of the sea, whether it's the Soleimani class, their frigate class, their prized drone aircraft carriers, submarines, mine layers, sunk. Iran's Air Force has been wiped out. Iran no longer has an air defense, any sort of a comprehensive air defense system. We own their skies. Their missile program is functionally destroyed. Launchers, production facilities, and existing stockpiles depleted and decimated. And almost completely ineffective. Iran shot hundreds and hundreds of missiles and one-way attack drones at our aircraft carrier. They were obsessed with it, and they never got even close. Every single one of those shots easily shot down miles and miles away from the Abe Lincoln. They were blowing ammo into Fantasyland. Contrast that with, most significantly, in last night's wave of more than 800 strikes, we finished completely destroying Iran's defense industrial base, a core pillar of our mission objective. What little they have left buried in bunkers is all they will have. They can still shoot, we know that. Their command and control is so decimated they can't really talk and coordinate, so they still may shoot here and there, but that would be very, very unwise. But they can no longer build missiles, build rockets, build launchers, or build UAVs. Their factories have been razed to the ground, set back in historic fashion. You see, had Iran refused our terms, the next targets would have been their power plants, their bridges, and oil and energy infrastructure, targets they could not defend and could not realistically rebuild. It would have taken them decades, and we were locked and loaded. They couldn't defend against it. President Trump had the power to cripple Iran's entire economy in minutes, but he chose mercy. He spared those targets because Iran accepted the ceasefire under overwhelming pressure. The new Iranian regime understood that a deal was far better than the fate that awaited them. This new regime just happened to look at what happened to their predecessors. Their top leadership was systematically eliminated. The previous Iranian supreme leader, dead. The Supreme National Security Council Secretary, dead. The Supreme Leader Office Advisor, dead. The Supreme Leader Military Office Chief, dead. The Defense Minister, no longer with us. The IRGC Commander, dead. The Armed Forces General Staff Commander, dead. The Intelligence Minister, dead. The IRGC Navy Commander, no longer here. The IRGC Intel Chief, dead. I skipped over a bunch, and I could go on and on and on, to include the new, so-called new Supreme Leader, wounded and disfigured. This new regime was out of options and out of time, so they cut a deal. They know this agreement means that they will never, ever possess a nuclear weapon. Under the terms, any nuclear material they should have will be removed. Any material, they should not have will be removed. Right now, their dust is deeply buried and watched 24/7 overhead. The president has been clear from the beginning, there will be no Iranian nuclear weapons. Period, full stop. Other presidents said it. President Trump did it. Operation Epic Fury. Less than 6 weeks, clear mission, decisive action, overwhelming firepower, America first, a historic battlefield victory. For decades, Iran killed Americans with roadside bombs in Iraq, using cowardly proxies to do their dirty work while they hid safely in Tehran. They struck our embassies with car bombs and attacked from the shadows, never daring to face us toe-to-toe. They thought they could bleed America with impunity. Well, they just learned the hard way what happens when you try to fight us directly. And even when they got lucky, one time in 40 days, and downed 2 of our pilots, they couldn't hold them. In a daring 14-hour rescue operation, 7 hours in daylight and 7 hours of night, both pilots were recovered safely. Not once, but twice. A daylight thunder run right up the middle of their country, boots on the ground. A midnight raid right up the middle of their country, boots on the ground. 0 American casualties. The Iranians humiliated and demoralized. We control their fate, not the other way around. That's why they came to the table. Iran's defeat is America's retribution for every American lost to Iranian terror, especially those brave troops killed by Iranian-made roadside bombs in Iraq that my generation knows so well, and for the suffering their regime has inflicted around the world. Now we have a chance at real peace and a real deal. The War Department, for now, has done its part. We stand ready in the background to ensure Iran upholds every reasonable term. And as everyone knows, nobody makes a better deal than President Trump. To the warriors of Epic Fury, I say well done. You're the backbone of our country. Your skill, your bravery, and sheer guts and grit showed the world what America is all about. I'm proud of you. We're proud of you. President is proud of you. Job well done. But stay vigilant and stay ready. To the families of our fallen, your sacrifice was in service of a historic cause, and we will always remember your heroes, our heroes. We will continue to honor them. And to our Israeli allies, thank you for being a brave, capable, and willing ally on this battlefield. The rest of the world and the rest of our so-called allies saw what real capabilities look like. They should take some notes. Our troops, our American warriors, deserve the credit for this day. But God deserves all the glory. Tens of thousands of sorties, refuelings, and strikes carried out under the protection of divine providence, a massive effort with miraculous protection. Dude 44 Bravo spoke for all of us. God is good. The chairman will now provide an even deeper military detail on the historic success of Operation Epic Fury. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for being here. I want to start this morning by honoring the 13 members of our American Joint Force who were killed in action thus far during this operation. Their sacrifice and that of their families is deeply important to us, and we are grateful for each of them, and will continue to mourn their loss. Their names and their bravery will never be forgotten. On February 28th, the President of the United States ordered the Joint Force to execute Operation Epic Fury with the direction to accomplish three distinct military objectives: destroy Iran's ballistic missile and drone capabilities, destroy the Iranian Navy, and destroy their defense industrial base to ensure that Iran cannot reconstitute the ability to project power outside their borders. Over the course of 38 days of major combat operation, the Joint Force achieved the military objectives as defined by the President. We welcome the ongoing ceasefire, and as the Secretary said, we hope that Iran chooses a lasting peace. But as Secretary Hegseth said, let us be clear, a ceasefire is a pause, and the Joint Force remains ready, if ordered or called upon, to resume combat operations with the same speed and precision as we've demonstrated over the last 38 days, and we hope that that is not the case. I want to congratulate and thank the leadership today at U.S. Central Command, including the Commander, Admiral Brad Cooper, the Deputy Commander, Lieutenant General Kevin Leahy, the Senior Enlisted Leader, Fleet Master Chief Compton, and every one of the component commanders, senior enlisted leaders, and especially the staff down at U.S. Central Command, who does not get called out for any of the credit, but grinds 24/7 to help offer the options that we bring to the Secretary and the President. I also want to highlight the forces in the United States European Command under the command of Alexis Grinkowicz, who protected the western flank in support of CENTCOM. And I want to thank our partners across the intelligence community. Our ability to see and understand what an adversary is doing help us to be as decisive as we must be on the battlefield. And that includes DIA, NSA, NGA, the CIA, and the National Reconnaissance Office, and others. I want to thank the other combatant commands who have thus far contributed along the way to U.S. Central Command. This includes Transcom, Stratcom, Spacecom, SOCOM, and Cybercom, all of whom poured all in support of CENTCOM's efforts. And I want to thank, as the Secretary did, our Gulf partners who fought alongside each and every one of us every day. From the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Bahrain, Qatar, Kuwait, and Jordan, all who joined us together to defend and protect our people and our assets, and who, if required, stand ready to do so again. And I want to thank my team at the Joint Staff, who work literally around the clock in order to help me offer the options that I must with the associated risks to the Secretary and to the President. They are the hardest working people that I know, and I am deeply grateful for their service. Most importantly today, I want to thank America's members of the Joint Force who've poured everything that they can into Operation Epic Fury, and their families who've worked 24 hours a day for 38 days. The Secretary and I could not be more proud of each and every one of you. And we deeply appreciate the support of the American people, who we know always have us in our thoughts and prayers. And we can feel this literally every single day. As the Secretary said, the United States has devastated the regime's ability to harm Americans and our interests for years to come. Since the beginning of major combat operations, the United States Joint Force has struck more than 13,000 targets, including in that 13,000, more than 4,000 dynamic targets that popped up on the battlefield and were immediately addressed, thanks to the exceptional command and control system and intelligence, acumen, and agility of our Joint Force. CENTCOM forces destroyed approximately 80% of Iran's air defense systems, striking more than 1,500 air defense targets, more than 450 ballistic missile storage facilities, 800 one-way attack drones storage facilities. All of these systems are gone. We've devastated Iran's command and control and logistical networks, destroying more than 2,000 command and control nodes and degrading their ability to target U.S. and friendly forces. It is, and we know this, incredibly frustrating right now to be a lower-level Iranian commander trying to fight your fight. As the Secretary said, the Iranian Navy now lies mostly at the bottom of the Arabian Gulf, and we assess that we've sunk more than 90% of their regular fleet, including all of the major surface combatants, as the Secretary said. 150 ships are at the bottom of the ocean, and half of the IRGC Navy's small attack boats. Joint fires projected from the land, sea, and air executed more than 700 strikes against naval mine targets, and we had assessed that we destroyed more than 95% of their naval mines. And perhaps most importantly, we've destroyed Iran's defense industrial base, their ability to reconstitute those capabilities for years to come. We attacked, along with our partners, approximately 90% of their weapons factories. Every factory that produced Shahed one-way attack drones was struck. Every factory that produces the guidance systems that go into those drones was struck. Their missile defense industrial base is shattered, with more than 80% of their missile facilities gone, as well as their solid rocket motor production capability. It will take years for Iran to rebuild any major surface combatants, as more than 20 naval production and fabrication facilities have been damaged or destroyed, and nearly 80% of Iran's nuclear industrial base was hit, further degrading their attempts to attain a nuclear weapon. Throughout Operation Epic Fury, our joint force struck at the heart of Iran's ability to project power and threaten the United States and the region. And in order to do this, it required the service and sacrifice of more than 50,000 American warfighters deployed across CENTCOM, EUCOM, and stateside. The Joint Force flew more than 10,000 missions, including 62 bomber missions, 18 of which flew round trip from the United States to deliver bombs on military targets. Each of these missions was more than 30 hours in duration, and we did that 18 times. No other military in the world can do that. And it's a testament to the logistical force that quietly serves behind them. I cannot thank TRANSCOM and the Air Force Tanker and Mobility Force more. Combined with Army and Navy joint fires, we struck more than 13,000 targets. And along with our Gulf partners, we've thus far intercepted 1,700 ballistic missiles and one-way attack drones, defending our forces and our partners in the civilian population. And we remain ready to do so should the need arise. Along the way, we consume more than 6 million meals, and by my estimate, more than 950,000 gallons of coffee, 2 million energy drinks, and a lot of nicotine, but I am not saying that we have a problem. I've laid out the statistics, but it does not truly capture the nature of combat. This is gritty and unforgiving business. It's chaotic. It's hot, it's dark, it's unpredictable, and there's always unknowns. And our people, proudly walked into those unknowns and continue forward. And through it all, the Joint Force has demonstrated the unwavering resolve that the nation demands of us. We are a mission-focused force, and our objectives always is to create the conditions for peace, and today we have, while be ready should that peace break, which we hope it is not, and we remain ready. Before I turn it back to the Secretary, I also want to quickly revisit the rescue of the Air Force fighter crew over the weekend. To give you an update, we've had, the Secretary and I have had the profound honor of speaking directly with many of the warfighters on that mission, from the downed crew that were picked up to those forces that went and got them. Hearing these stories firsthand has only deepened our appreciation for their tenacity, creativity, courage, and grit of the American Joint Force. This is a story that gets to the very heart and soul of who we are as a joint force, who we are as Americans. Selfless sacrifice in service of others. From the backseater, Dude 44 Bravo, whose pure and unadulterated joy at seeing those helicopters come into the valley to get his front seater in daylight because he knew the front seater did not have a jacket, and was so filled with heart-leaping joy at his front seater getting picked up, to the nighttime folks that went in and then got him, to the tanker forces that did the things that they had to do to give their own gas away, to the support packages, to those that went into the desert landing site not once, not twice, but 3 times as we fought through multiple contingencies. This was and is a joint force that has the guts to try, that does not quit, and who each and every day does the things that we must to dare to win. No lives were lost. We succeeded because the Joint Force is always at the ready. They trust each other, they trust their leaders, and they trust their training. And they remember first, foremost, and always that we do these things so that others may live, and we will never leave anyone behind. The success of Operation Fury thus far, and we hope it remains, culminates with this incredible rescue over the weekend, a direct example of the professionalism and courage of the United States military and our joint force. It's the service members on the front lines, our partners in the region, our teammates in the intelligence community, our civilian leaders in the OSW side of the house, the American workers who build the tools and weapons that we use, and the American people who back us up that help us to go do these things. I stand here humbled today, but frankly not surprised by what the Joint Force has been able to do. Their performance is fueled by a deep commitment to each other, their mission, and to our country. It is an incredible, deep honor for me to be a part of this Joint Force, and I'm humbled by the service and sacrifice each and every day that I am lucky enough to see. And finally, as I always do, I ask that we never forget our fallen and their families, especially those 13 fallen from Operation Epic Fury. May we always be worthy of their sacrifice and honor their legacy. And with that, sir, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll take a few questions.
Alexandra Ingersoll, One America News. First of all, thank you to our troops. What role is our military playing in escorting vessels through the Strait of Hormuz at this point? And the president said on Truth Social that the U.S. will be hanging around to make sure everything goes well. Obviously, Mr. Secretary, you just mentioned, we know the scars from hanging around in Iraq for decades. But what does that entail in terms of our military presence at this juncture?
Yeah, we'll be hanging around. We're not going anywhere. We're going to make sure Iran complies with this ceasefire and then ultimately comes to the table and makes a deal. So we'll stay put, stay ready, stay vigilant, as the chairman laid out. Our troops are prepared to defend, prepared to go on offense, prepared to restart at a moment's notice with whatever target package would be needed in order to ensure that Iran complies. As far as the Strait, you saw the initial agreement that was struck, which is Iran's letting ships go through. So there'll be that will be happening. They will be sailing, and ultimately, as the president, I mean, we've done an incredible job militarily inside the Strait of Hormuz. What Admiral Cooper, I failed to mention Admiral Cooper's name. He's done a phenomenal job, along with everybody at AFCENT and ABCENT and ARCENT and all the components down there, laying the groundwork for Iran. Iran doesn't have the same ability to defend it the way they did before. And so, as the president has pointed out to the rest of the world, we barely get any of our energy out of the Strait, just a tiny fraction. It's time for the rest of the world to step up and ensure that that stays open after President Trump and the War Department brought Iran to the place where they are voluntarily opening it right now, as was announced last night. Yes, Jerry.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you both for the update. President Trump posted on Truth Social this morning that there has been a very productive regime change in Iran, and that there will be no enrichment of uranium, and the U.S. will work with Iran to dig up and remove the deeply buried nuclear dust. So I just have two questions here. So both you, Mr. Secretary, and the President have referred to a new regime in Iran. So is this not the regime that was at war with us for 47 years? And what do we think of when we're saying that this is a new regime? What are we thinking and what are we saying there? And then my second question is, with any future deal with Iran, is their handing over of all of their enriched uranium and they're promising not to enrich any future uranium a non-negotiable for the U.S.?
Well, it's always been non-negotiable that they won't have nuclear capabilities. And so right now it's buried and we're watching it. We know exactly what they have, and they know that. And they will either give it to us, which the president has laid out. They'll give it to us voluntarily. We'll get it. We'll take it out. Or if we have to do something else ourselves, like we did in Midnight Hammer or something like that, we reserve that opportunity. But what's clear, what the new Iranian regime knows, is they'll never have a nuclear weapon or the capability to get a path to one. As far as the new regime, you heard the list that I read. It's a new group of people who've seen the full capability of the United States military and has a new calculus about what it means to negotiate with us, hence why they came to the table wanting a ceasefire and the shooting to stop. So this new regime, which the regime has been changed, has a different interaction with the U.S. Right here.
Mr. Secretary, thank you. Of course,
I was going in front right here.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary and General Kane. Mary Margaret with the Daily Wire. Two questions. Iran has said that safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz will be possible in coordination with Iran's armed forces and, quote, technical limitations. What do you believe that means? And then we've also heard reports that Iran has continued striking targets well into this morning. At what point are we beyond a grace period? Are we giving them a grace period? Is there a miscommunication there? What's going on with that?
What we know is that Iran is going to say a lot of things. A lot of people are going to say a lot of things, claim a lot of things. What has been agreed to, what's been stated, is the strait is open. Our military is watching. I'm sure their military is watching, but commerce will flow. And that's what you saw the markets react to, is that reality. As far as shooting, that we were monitoring it last night in real time. Of course we are. Iran would be wise to find a way to get the carrier pigeon to their troops out in remote locations to know not to shoot any longer one-way attacks or missiles, because it takes time sometimes for ceasefires to take hold. We're watching it. We're prepared if necessary, but we hope and believe that it'll hold. Yes.
Thank you, Secretary.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Why are you so rude? Just wait. I'm calling on people.
Thank you, Secretary. Yesterday in the President's Truth Social, he threatened to wipe out a civilization. That statement elicited a huge response in America. If Iran did not come to the table and make a deal yesterday by the deadline, was the President really prepared to wipe out Iran entirely?
Like I said, we had a target set, locked and loaded, of infrastructure, bridges, power plants. Remember, this is a terror regime, a military regime. Used all of these things for dual use to fund their military, to fund their terror campaigns. We had a lot of legitimate targets. They knew exactly the scope of what we were capable of. We hit some military targets on Karg, which is a bit of a signal. They can't defend it. And so Iran ultimately understood their ability, their future, to produce, to generate power, to fuel their terrorist regime was in our hands, was in President Trump's hands. That's why they came to the table. He ultimately said, we can take it all from you. Your ability to export energy will be taken away. And the United States military has the ability to strike those things with impunity. That type of threat is what brought them to the place where they effectively say, hey, okay, we want to cut this deal. Yes, right here.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary, Mr. Chairman. David Zier, Real America's Voice. During the ceasefire, what do we do when we see Iran rearming, regrouping, repositioning weapon systems and air defenses? And also, have we confirmed the specific model type of air defense or man pads that took down our F-15? And is it still a threat for our patrols?
We're still working through the specific details around that particular shoot down. And the crews, when they normally return, go through a debriefing process along with the other members of that flight that were out there. And they'll go back, as they always do, and forensically look at what are the tactical lessons learned. Did we sense or see something? Could we have done something different? We do that, as I mentioned in a prior press conference, every single time we take any loss like that, so that we become a quick learning organization. On the other part of your question around the movement of Iranian military forces, U.S. CENTCOM will continue to monitor that situation. They will continue to have a series of response options, and if need be, will come to the Secretary and to the President for guidance and be prepared to do the things that they're ordered to do so against valid military targets in accordance with the normal procedures that we have.
I would just note, it's a good question. The more Iran moves forces, the more they emplace forces, the more easily targetable they are for us right now. Remember, we're able to look, we're able to see, we're able to sense. We know so if they try to pre-position, they're just creating riper military targets for us to strike should they make the wrong decision at the table. Right here.
Mr. Secretary, Louis Martinez with ABC News. First, a question to General Kane, sir. In your personal opinion, were the risks of the Strait of Hormuz being closed because of the conflict, were they mitigated early enough in part of the decision-making process to lead up to the decision to take action against Iran? And in your opinion, is Iran in control of the Strait of Hormuz? We just heard the Secretary say that Iran is letting them ships through, which would imply that potentially it's not just. The Secretary also said that the U.S. That the strait is open. He did say that, sir. But in your opinion, sir, how can the U.S. ensure safe passage? And Mr. Secretary, can you say today that the United States achieved, the administration achieved the military goals that you've constantly delineated? But strategically, is that a victory because of that? And also, you said earlier that the president chose mercy. But you yourself had said 3 weeks ago that we will give no quarter to Iranian troops. How do you correlate those two? And do you think that your comments may have put American troops at risk?
No. I try to be nice up here, but you did listen to what I said, right? I laid out the objectives. We believe we've accomplished them, and it's a historic military victory. And President Trump has the option as the commander-in-chief to compel an adversary to the table, which is precisely what he did. And at the end, he chose to say, you know what, I'd rather talk to you at the table than obliterate your capability to export oil and fund your terror regime. So he did make that choice. That was his choice. He was a president of peace, and he's been willing to make those really tough calls that the American people elected him to do. Nothing we've done, not a single thing we've done. This is a typical, of course, it's ABC. Not a single thing we've done has put an American troop in more of a harm's way. We've only set our troops up to harm Iranian military capabilities, which they've done to devastating fashion and to great success. Mr. Chairman, you had a part of that
There's a
question.
lot in that question. I'd love to take that offline and answer it, but I'm struggling to find exactly what your question was, and that's probably me, not
Phrase
you.
it in a much more concise way.
Okay, all right. Sorry about
Mr.
that.
Chairman, it was an indictment framed as a question, so you're forgiven for not understanding. Go ahead, please.
Can I reframe it again, sir?
No, you've had your chance. Go ahead, sir.
Open right now.
Thank you very much.
I believe so, based on the
Thank you very
diplomatic
much, Mr.
negotiation.
Secretary.
I believe so.
It is
I
always
believe
nice
so.
to see you.
Sorry.
Mr. Kurd or Rahim Rashidi from Kurdistan. I'm representative Kurdistan TV and Kurdistan 24 today. I have two questions. Mr. Secretary, will your forces stay in the region and continue to defend and protect your allies and take the responsibility for their security? Second question is, as you mentioned many times, that you have full control of Iran airspace. Do you still have this control or not?
Well, thank you for the question. The chairman mentioned the UAE and Bahrain and Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, who have fought shoulder to shoulder with us, especially in defense of our facilities, of our people, of their facilities, and we appreciate that. So that coordination, of course, will continue. And then when it comes to the skies over Iran, I would point to Exhibit A and Exhibit B, 7 hours in the day, 7 hours at night. If any foreign adversary attempted to do the same over our soil, they would have no ability to do so. Will they have a system here or there? Maybe. Do they have a network, a system that's capable of defending their skies? No, they don't. It's, as the chairman laid out, that's been dismantled, degraded, and destroyed. So it's a slight distinction, but an important one. Yes, right here. Go ahead.
General George in the middle of a war.
Excuse me. You got a question? Go ahead. Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Two questions actually for you. So during this time, is the president are you still encouraging civilians to rise up against the regime, or are they satisfied with this new regime change, or is this two-week period to kind of see where that leads? Also, talked about the enriched uranium going in there. Would that require special forces or other military, our service members? Who would be basically going in there and trusted to going in there to get that uranium out?
Mm-hmm. Again, on the uranium, we're watching it. We know what they have, and they will give it up, and we'll get it, and we'll take it. If we have to, we can do it in any means necessary. So that's something the president is going to solve for. We already have Midnight Hammer with the place we put them in, and the reason it's in the situation where it is. The second one was about the people. Listen, I would love to see the Iranian people take advantage of this opportunity. They have been oppressed by the previous regime, and they'll have a new opportunity with this regime. That remains to be seen. That was not our objective in this effort, but they're brave people. Horrible things have been done to them by the previous regime. Tens of thousands targeted and killed and assassinated in a way the government never should. And we wish them the best, absolutely. Thank you all very much. Appreciate it.
Okay,
so
that
an absolutely
seems,
fascinating news conference
what we're gonna
there,
get
Defence
there.
Secretary.
All right, thank you very much indeed. I hope you all got something from that. So let me give my thoughts and updates on the show on the news we've heard this morning, and discuss how we go forward, what we buy, what we sell, how we navigate this as investors. If you could tap the like button, that would be great. If you are watching on the phone service, we now have two services running simultaneously on the main on the big widescreen TV, but we also have a phone version as well. Not a dual screen like a lot of YouTubers create. This is a completely separate system. So if you could tap the like button wherever you are and consider subscribing. Let me show you exactly. If you are on the home page of the channel, you will now see at the top, there's two events running, TV wide and tall phone, completely separate. It's a very different thumbnail, as you can see. And it's also, the phone has like an iPhone in the title as well. So you can see we are separate services. You might want to switch between the two, depending on what you and how you want to watch. They are completely different broadcasts for your for your service and enjoyment. All right, it's not a dual screen and we just grab the middle of it and hopefully I'm sat in the middle. It's two separate streams that we're now providing to you. All right, so let's break down the news of what we got this morning. The markets have rallied. This is an investment channel, not a political channel, but politics and what's going on in a war affects our portfolio. That's why we cover it. Some people say, why do you cover this stuff? Well, because this is what moves markets and this is how we make money. We're an investment channel and we're here to make money, not just to simply blindly ignore what's going on in the world. That wouldn't serve any purpose to anyone. So let's go through the news. We're going to do live Q&A. We've got our live event on Discord coming up, and we've got the FOMC minutes today. Sensei is covering that. That's very important. So look out for that. We've also got the inflation report tomorrow. We're going to be covering that live. That's very, very important. So in a second, I'm going to come to comments and questions. Let's go through the news and see our position. So first of all, let's go. You can see yesterday I had a swing of over $20,000. It was very close to an all-time record yesterday. Now, this is important to note. People often say, I'm sitting in cash. I'm selling, I'm out of the market, and we have proven and we've shown you over history several times that being in the market just 10 times in your entire investment journey over a lifetime, if you miss those 10 days, your portfolio will be halved. What does that mean? It means remaining in the market, finding a way to remain in the market, repositioning with tax lots, tax harvesting, and we teach it every day on Discord, one-on-one, for a couple of bucks a month. That's all it is. I don't need to make money from our training courses and our investment our Discord and all this stuff. We make money from investing, so I provide it it never goes up in price. There's no inflation. And it's just a couple of bucks. If you want to be a member of our Discord server, I'll be there later doing one-on-one as well. There is Discord and there is YouTube Electrum. If you want YouTube Electrum, that gives you the 24-hour trades and support with me 24 hours a day. That's right. At 4 o'clock in the morning, if I'm making a trade, if I'm buying or selling, you will know it, see it, and I can reply to you. This is not AI. This is not robots. This is me, just me. I am there answering your comments. I'm also going to pin the Discord and the newsletter information for you in the chat. Here we go. Let me just pin that to the top. I just realized I didn't have it pinned. Drop that in there. Okay. Right. There you go. Let me just pin that to the top. We are running a poll. One of our members, as you can see, everyone gets a voice. No one gets left behind. You can comment during the show. You can even phone in if you want to. If you ask me to do a live phone in, we can do that. But here is the poll. One of our members asked the question, is this a win for the USA? Well, we're going to break it all down now and all our trades. Okay? Is this a win for the USA? Well, 41% say yes. 39% say no, and 20% are undecided. I will end that poll shortly if you wish to vote in it and have your say. All right, so let's go for all our positions. So yesterday was a record, very close to a record day. That is because we remained in. We don't go soft. We don't sell out. We don't give up. We don't go to cash. No real investor does. Passive investors do, but real investors that are aggressive, that are traders, that are trying to beat the market, and we consistently do beat the market. I beat Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway, and it's not hard to do, by the way. Anyone can do it. Retail investors have a lot more power than they do. So we consistently beat the market, and am I just making that up? Well, let's have a little look, shall we? I'm up 4.9% today. Okay, nearly 5% today. The S&P is up today 2.6. You can see I am absolutely beating the market again. I'm always beating the market. Nine times out of 10, I'm beating the market, and I'm always beating Berkshire Hathaway. It's not hard to do, all right? It really isn't if you are attentive and you are focusing on value and not stock tickers. All right. So this is our position. As you can see, crypto. We're up on all of our crypto now. Okay, because we repositioned, we use tax harvesting, we don't do dollar cost averaging, we buy with conviction, we understand value, we know about tax lots. So we have banked future tax losses for our future gains. What do I mean by that? If I click on this and I go to my realized profit and loss and I go to all and I click the all button and I go to year to date, which is what matters. On paper, we've lost 17 grand. We haven't lost nothing. Not a single loss. Not a single loss. The only time I have sold for a loss is to sell for a tax loss and buy back at the same price. No losses. That is not a loss. That is not a loss, okay? We mark it as a tax loss, but it's not an overall loss. How can it be? All right, we got back in again. So we got all our future profits protected now. So we've got our XRP, we're up 6.79. Now, we're not really up 6.79 because we've been deploying tax harvesting all the way down, but by doing so, we've given ourselves guaranteed future income without paying tax. Now, as it turns out, I'm not looking to sell anything. I'm looking now to pay down my margin by earning money, not by selling. I will trim and I will take some trades, but I'm not looking to do that. I will do that if it's the right thing, but it's not a thing I'm sort of hungry to do. I want to keep my portfolio the size it is. All right. So our XRP looking great. I've got a price target of $5. Ethereum, it's pending to be locked up. I don't need to trade that. Oh, and by the way, another reason for owning XRP or Bitcoin is so I can trade it 24/7 at the weekend, not the ETFs. I don't want it locked up on a ledger. I don't want any of that stuff. I want to be able to trade it and aggressively trade macro conditions. That's very important. All right. Okay. So XRP looking great, Ethereum looking great, Bitcoin looking great. I'm up on all of it now. Some of it I'm actually up. Bitcoin, I'm up all time. So that's fantastic. I'm making real money without paying profit, without paying tax. All right, let's move on. Now we move on to the S&P 500. Now that's all the shares I have. VU, Coca-Cola, SGov, Goog, NVIDIA, and VLG. Sorry, VUG. That's it. I don't have a portfolio of 500 things, just those I can focus on. I've got all the best of the best. The creme de la creme is sitting right there. The best businesses in the world are American, and I'm British, so that's saying something, but I do live in America. The best businesses in the world are American, and they are in the S&P 500. Best way of doing that is by buying VOO, V-O-O. Okay, Coca-Cola, our best defensive play for all the reasons I've given 1,000 times, and we've made money. This is all free money now. We've traded it many times, and we're back in a basically a free position because we've made money, and we're now earning around about $300 to $400 a month. Overall, my whole overall portfolio now, trying to get $1,000 a month income from doing absolutely nothing, by the way. SGov, best way to buy treasury bills, short term. I'm out of it. Don't see a point in being in it at the moment. That's where scared money lives. Those that sold out and goes, I'm putting my money there. I didn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I do that when everything is overbought once again. We got 15 minutes before the bell goes. We will be covering the bell, so stand by. Then we've got Google and NVIDIA. Now, I told you Google and NVIDIA are the best AI plays. I was right. I gave that prediction. We knew ahead of time. We knew why Buffett bought it. We knew what was coming, and we've now got it confirmed. The government deal, the Anthropic deal, and Google yet hasn't even shown its face. It's got a long, long, long way to go up. Going to make a lot of money here, which we sold our top lots to hold our bottom lots, to post our losses, and then, well, because we never bought the bottom, did we? Not initially. We did eventually, but not initially. We then went into VUG, which is predominantly 13% Google and 13% NVIDIA. So nearly 30% there just in those two stocks. So we got back in with VUG. So now we're making money all time. All time now. This is not just... okay, tax harvesting. VUG, we literally bought the bottom. By doing all the tax harvesting, we are now up a staggering $5,300 in just a few weeks. This is real profit, real gain, real money, and I don't need to sell it. And if I do sell it, I can go against my losses, so I won't pay tax on it. That is real gain. Okay, we bought the bottom, and you can buy the bottom. Those that say on YouTube, it's very easy to sell this story. People will sell you the story, you can't buy the bottom. Nobody can. Rubbish. You can buy the bottom. I buy the bottom all the time. I bought the Liberation Day bottom. I eventually bought the bottom of this war. I always get it done, and I always win, and you always can do. Remember, it's easy to make money. The hard part is to keep it. Now, why do really good, responsible, and there are lots of really good YouTube channels will say, no one can time the market. It's all about staying in the market. Well, because they're trying to appease their audience, all right? It sells. It sounds believable. It sounds credible. Except it's kind of just clickbait. It's the same way as doing the bad thing where crypto channels who know nothing about the stock market will say things like dollar cost average and all of this stuff. It sells to simple-minded people. It's a lot more complex than that. Now, we don't do broadcasts and videos to appease the simple people. We don't make it simple because investing is simple, but to win maximally, to maximize your wins, it's complex. And we don't simplify it just to get clicks. Dollar cost average, stay in the market. No one can time the market. It sounds credible. It sounds easy. It sounds believable. However, there's much more to be gained by making this more complex. All right. So this is why I'm consistently beating the market, and I'm consistently beating Buffett, and my portfolio is about to go to $1 million. And remember, I started with $5,000. Now, some people will say this. They will say, Martyn's not really making money. He's not really up. All he's doing is earning money, going on YouTube and putting his money in the market. Well, every single one of us, if you are in the market, has a job, and you earn money and you put it in the market. But if I went out tomorrow and I earned $1 million and everyone gave me a super chat and everyone became a member and I had $1 billion and I put $1 billion in my portfolio today, would I go up? Well, my balance would go up, but would my actual gains go up? Well, of course not. Of course not. What makes them go up or down is by my investing strategy. So people will tell you that. They will say the only reason why Martyn's got money and why Martyn's going up is he actually just puts money in the portfolio. That is stupid. And again, that is the way some people think. They don't have the brains to work it out. So I'll show you. I will show you. Let me go to the 1 year. Let me go to my stocks and shares. First of all, look at this. 1 year, stocks and shares. My gain is $122,000. 29%. I've beaten Buffett. I've beaten the market by a long way. Now, there is the proof. I'm showing my real trades, my real positions live on the screen. I can't make this stuff up. That is my 1 year. Now, how have I achieved that? Have I earned loads of money on YouTube? Well, no, because my gain, not my income, my gain is $122,000, which is 29% in 1 year. That beats every metric there is. Okay. Now remember, what makes that even more impressive is there is no options, no shorts, and none of that is crypto. None of it. Don't believe me? Well, you're looking at stocks and ETFs. That is my stocks and ETFs gains. I am currently overall out of the money on crypto. So I've made 29%, 122 grand just by buying the S&P 500, Coca-Cola, and using tax harvesting and tax lots efficiently. Don't tell me you can't get rich and you can't make money by simply buying the S&P, Coca-Cola, and doing it at the right time. You can time the market. I do time the market. You can get the bottom. I do it all the time, live on the show, and then share it all with you on Discord and Electrum. So there you go. Now let's look at crypto, because people say you got to have crypto to get money. You're not going to get rich just by buying the S&P. Rubbish. Rubbish. Nobody wants to tell you that, because why? You don't get any money for telling anybody that. What you get money for is telling people they're going to get rich in 5 minutes by buying Bitcoin. Why? Because it appeases idiots. Idiots will believe that. They'll go, I know you can't get rich on the S&P 500. You just got a dollar cost average. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Look at my overall crypto position. My overall crypto position, let me go to the all-time. I'm down overall on my crypto. So crypto in my portfolio has brought my portfolio down by 14 grand. Am I bothered? No, not at all. I'm going to double my portfolio on crypto. Not bothered at all. I've been buying all the way down, repositioning, posting losses for future gains. I'm not bothered by that, but that just shows you how much I've lost, and I'm still up so much. Okay, but what it shows you, you don't have to buy crypto or short the market or do options to make money. You can just be a value investor and always win. And I always do win. And I always will win. And my Discordians always win. My Electrum members always win. Every single trade has been a winning trade. Every single one. Never lost. And when we do this, people will come in and go, oh, you just said do this, and you never follow me. And I'm not asking you to follow me either. But the ones that say I'm losing or not making any money, they don't follow my trades. They're not members. They don't join us on Discord. They're just jealous, lazy people who don't want to put the work in. All right? So there you go. You can make money without doing options. You don't have to gamble. You don't have to guess. You don't have to predict anything. You simply buy value. You do the hard work that nobody else wants to do. You watch the earnings calls. You read the balance sheets. You find great businesses. You buy with conviction. You don't sell. You understand how the whole thing works, and you always win. That's it. Very, 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 very simple to win. So let's now move on and summarize what we've had with the war. And then I'm going to tell you what we do next. Because in 15 minutes, the bell goes. We're going to be there live for it. What you've got there, by the way, is a rotation trade from Coca-Cola into tech. All right. That's a rotation trade. And in the next few minutes, it sounds really silly, but it's what I do anyway. You see that $3.91? Most people will go, $3.91 in your buying power. Don't you have 700 grand totally invested? Yeah. Why are you excited about $3.91? I am bothered about the pennies and the cents. The pounds and the dollars take care of themselves. If you remember, it's how I bought my house with $1 tips. That $3 and that 91 cents is going to be spent when the bell goes, because it's not enough to do now. It won't do it. And I'm going to buy Coca-Cola, $3.91 the moment the market opens, if we're still down. If we're still down and that's still red, I'm going to bring down my cost basis a bit more. And even $3.91 to me makes a difference. Abso-flippin'-lutely. Abso-flippin'-lutely. So let me break it down. In a few moments, the market's going to open. We're going to cover it live. We're waiting to go live. There it is. There is the live with Jim Cramer and New York Stock Exchange. But let me now summarize the news. What we heard a few moments ago was from Pete Hesketh. A lot of saber rattling, I have to say. Hang on a minute. What on earth has happened here? My screen has just disappeared. Just bear with me. I have a technical issue. Let me see if I can fix it. Sorry about this. This has put me behind now. Let me just see. I've got 20 odd screens in this studio, and one of them has just shut down. And it's the one I need, which is typical, isn't it? Let me see if I can get it back up and running. Please bear with me. Well, that's bloody odd. Okay, please bear with me as I try and fix this. And I think I've managed to fix it. And now I've just thrown everything else all over the place. Please bear with me. This is a live show. It happens in real time, and things happen for real. Okay, I think I have control of the plane again. I say that because it's actually like that. Okay, so I've got time. Hang on a minute. I've missed the bell. I've missed the bell because of my flipping screen locking up. I apologise. I've just realised I've missed the bell.
Slim Valuk tipped £2 through Super Chat.
Yeah.
Market already open, Martyn.
Yes, I apologise. I've missed the bell because one of my screens where I have my clock, even though I have the clock on the screen, as you can see, it's what I focus on, had got stuck, and because of it, I missed the bell. So I do apologise for that. All right. So I'm sorry to everybody confuse you. I have missed the bell. You're absolutely right. Let's ring it anyway. But yeah, that's created a bit of confusion for me. So let me continue. It doesn't make a difference anyway, because I know exactly what I'm going to do with my trades, know exactly what I'm going to buy and sell. So let me give you the update now, and then I'm going to then talk about my next position. So, hours after threatening to wipe out a whole civilization, President Trump posted on Truth Social that he was suspending all bombing and attacks on Iran for 2 weeks. We just heard that from Pete Hegseth. The reversal followed an 11th hour intervention by Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who asked Trump to postpone his deadline and urged Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz as a goodwill gesture. This was not Iran begging not to be bombed, as Pete Hegseth just said. It's important to have context and understand fully what actually happened. Trump said the US had received a 10-point proposal from Iran, called it a workable basis on which to negotiate. Now remember, the plan that was presented from Iran to Trump was exactly what Iran put to them at the very beginning. Nothing had been negotiated, nothing had been taken away, and in fact now Iran have more power than they did before. Now you will hear from Pete Hegseth that we've bombed everything and dropped holes everywhere and all their stuff is at the bottom of the ocean. That is all true. That is true, no question about it. Overwhelming firepower from the United States, absolutely. We've bombed loads of stuff, and great, congratulations, you've got all the guns and the bombs. But is Iran now in a worse position? Well, they've got less stuff, and a lot of it is blown up and at the bottom of the sea. But is their resolve weakened? No, it's stronger. Is there a regime change? No, it's more emboldened. They're more angry. They're already regrouping, rebuilding. They're not going anywhere. And the 10-point plan they put to Trump was what they put to him at the beginning. No change whatsoever. Iran have now more power, more income than they did before. They have less stuff, less planes, less stuff, but they're getting more out of the war now than they did before. So on one hand, you can say, yes, America has won because it's blown lots of stuff up, but Iran is more emboldened to come back and do it again, and they're more angry, they're more resilient, and they're now earning more money. Russia is now earning more money out of all of this. China is benefiting. Is the Strait going to be open? Well, the Strait was open before. We're back to where we were. The strait was open before and the strait is opening up again. But remember, we could be back at war again in 2 weeks, so we'll come on to our trades in a minute. So it's worth mentioning that it's not quite as amazing as we've just heard, all right? So the 10-point plan that was put to Trump is exactly what Iran put in the first place. They didn't concede anything. Trump just accepted it because the taco trade, once again, happened. Nothing actually happened when it came down to it. So Iran's foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, and I apologize if I pronounced that correctly, confirmed that safe passage through the strait would be possible for 2 weeks, through only via coordination with Iran's armed forces and with due consideration of technical limitations. All right? So there is going to be passage, but Iran are kind of watching it and benefiting from it. Markets move fast. Well, we saw that. The markets rallied. Well, we knew that was going to happen. There was no question about that. The market pumped on this news because we all remained in, and that's what happens. We've said this time and time again. Okay, so no surprise, the markets move fast. West Texas Intermediate WTI crude tumbled as much as 19%, with Brent falling 14% to around $94 a barrel, while the S&P 500 futures surged 2.5%, and Europe stocks 600 jumped 3.8%, its biggest one-day gain since last April. Great, sounds good, right? But oil is still really, really high. It's not exactly down. It doesn't believe this has all gone away. Not at all. And tomorrow we get inflation reports. Now, it was just about in time to not be affected by inflation this time. But $94 a barrel, don't kid yourself, that still is a problem. And if we hold at that, or if the war resumes in 2 weeks and it goes up again, then we will have a real knock-on effect. As of yet, it's not had a knock effect to the end user, but it will in time if this continues. So we're not out of the woods. We haven't cancelled the yen carry trade. We haven't cancelled a recession. It's still a reality, still could happen. So we'll come on to our trades in a minute, what we're going to do. All right? So we're not all good. We're not all great. If you bought the bottom and you sold it all, and a lot of people inside, that's all I'm going to say, did exactly that and made a lot of money, great. But if you are a long-term investor and you bought the bottom and you're just trying to build a portfolio, you've not yet actually made any money. And by the way, I forgot the market was open, of course, so let me go and buy this. It sounds absolutely silly, but I'm going to do it. Coca-Cola, buy with my cash. Just my cash. There's no point doing a limit order, is there? It's just $3.91. $3. You can't do 91. You can do 90. Review. There you go. Just buying that. If anyone catches that and posts that on Discord, that was a live trade, you win 100 Luca coins for sharing that. Okay. I got it at 75.87. That's way below my average. Yeah. That's fine. Absolutely fine with that. Done. And there we go. If anyone caught that and posted it, you would have won yourself 100 Luca coins. So let me see. There's my buying power back down to there. Let me go into my Roth IRA. My Roth IRA, I've got 58 cents. I can't do anything there. So that is that, because you can't buy under $1. So there we go. We'll come back. Let's carry on with our story. That's all I wanted to do, was deploy that amount of money because it's a rotation trade. It'll come straight back up again. It already is. Right. So let's carry on. So all that happens is the deal buys more time. There's actually no deal. It was exactly what Iran wanted from the very beginning. And now they've got more power and more money, less stuff, more holes in the ground, but they haven't actually lost anything. The deal buys time, but the ceasefire is not clean. Kuwait's army said it intercepted 28 Iranian drones targeting oil facility power stations and water desalination plants. Now, this is okay. It's not good, but it's not great. It's not good. Just reminds me of a funny short I watched the other day. But anyway, the point is, when a ceasefire or a war ends, there's that sort of transition period. As you heard Pete Eskeff say, they are monitoring it. If this continues, then we'll have to be back at war again. But there is a period of time when these things do overlap. A lot of infrastructure has been taken out. A lot of communications has been lost. And it does take a while. We've seen this in world wars, and all the rest of it happens sometimes for days. So we'll just monitor that. But it is a real issue, but hopefully that will stop shortly. So describing the attacks as intense, they are intense. The UAE responded to a separate missile threat, and Iran's own Levan oil refinery was struck after the truce was announced. So it hasn't gone away. With crews working to extinguish a fire. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance has said, speaking in Budapest, said the US had achieved its military objectives. Has it achieved its military objectives? Well, what does that mean? That means that Iran can no longer have nuclear weapons. Yes, they can. Have they taken it all away? No. Are they more emboldened? Yes. Is there regime change? They say yes. There isn't. So I don't know what we've achieved other than blowing up lots of stuff. And remember, it's cost the America billions, maybe trillions, I've no idea. But a lot of money, I would imagine, it's cost. All right, and a lot of dead people as well, including some American soldiers. So J.D. Vance says we've achieved all our military objectives. Described as the truce as fragile. He's absolutely right. The truth is fragile, and we could be back at war any minute, really. Warning that if Iran lies or cheats, they won't be happy. Pakistan will host talks in Islamabad on Friday, with Iran confirming attendance. This is good. Iran has said they are going to a meeting on Friday. Vance envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner are expected to lead the US side in a follow-up post today. We look forward to that. Trump said the US is talking tariffs and sanctions with relief with Iran, and that many of the 15 points have already been agreed to. He also imposed an immediate 50% tariff on any country supplying military weapons to Iran. The tariffs are back. Not a bad thing, I think you'll agree. Most people would probably regard that as a good thing. Meanwhile, roughly 800 vessels and 20,000 seafarers remain trapped in the Persian Gulf. The Lloyd's Market Association warned that insurance coverage for Hormuz transits will not normalise quickly. This will not be overnight. This will take a long time. This is why inflation tomorrow and going forward next month is still a major problem. With the head of the Marine and Aviation saying the region remains at heightened risk with none of the underlying tensions resolved. That's why oil isn't down yet and why the market isn't really booming. All we've done is go back to where we were. And I'll come on to my trades in a minute and what I'm doing and why you need to be careful, right? Those that were there inside, those that knew what was going to be said before it was said and all the rest of it, and we've covered all those trades before, they're not investors. They're scalp traders. They literally took the war scalp, literally. They knew the market would go down when they said certain things, so they sold before it. Then it went down. Then they bought it back. Then they sold it. They're not in like you or I. You or I, investors, our pensions, our future, we're just trying to buy more on the way down and keep our positions. So we could go right back down where we were. Those that drove the market up and down, those that can pump and dump it, took their money and they're out of it again. Obviously, they're out. We're seeing some trimming going on right now, right in front of your eyes. Anyway, so the underlying issues are still not resolved. Brent is at 94, is still more than 30% its pre-war level. This is still a major problem. So that's the update today. Now I'm going to share with you what we do and what I'm doing. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply sharing my trades with you 24/7. If you want to be on Electrum, there is my YouTube membership. I want there to be, and if we can do it today, we've got the FOMC minutes. I want to be live today doing a members only event where I want to do 2 stock analysis videos for you for free. You can choose the stocks. I will do them completely for free. If you are an Electrum member, that's what I'm planning on doing today. I hope I can fit that in with everything else going on. That is my plan to do that, to come back with an Electrum members only event. So if you want that, we'll play spin the wheel. We'll get 10 people in and we'll pick 2 and we'll do stock analysis for free. It's part of being a member on YouTube. There is the link. If you want Discord, there is a Discord link and you can have that as well. I'm going to be in Discord in about half an hour after this, doing one-on-one support for my pro members, which most people are now, and one-on-one support, one-on-one trades, and so on and so forth. Right. So let's go back to our positions. What are we going to do? Well, did we buy on the pump today, last night, this morning? Of course we didn't. No real investor did. Those of you that don't know what you're doing, and billions around the world don't, they started to buy the pump. They saw some good news coming in, which is not necessarily good news, not long-term anyway, and they started to buy. Some of them have got stuck in the trade. Some of them are sold. Most will have sold for a loss because even if it pumped up, time you take your tax out and your costs, did you make any money really? Probably not. Did I buy any of this pump? Of course not. You've just seen me buy Coca-Cola on the way down, not on the way up. And I bought the bottom. I've done tax loss harvesting. So what am I going to do now? Well, let's break it down. I've got a lot of margin plus external borrowing. A huge amount. I'd like to start paying it off. However, I'm not going to rush to sell to pay off my margin because I can earn the money. I can earn it through dividends and I can earn it by going to work. Here on YouTube, I can earn money and I can pay off my debts myself. I don't require my stocks to do that. However, what I can do is when we go up a bit more, and we're not there yet, all we've done is gone back where we were. This isn't that great. It enabled me to buy the bottom. It enabled me to buy more. It enabled me to buy the dip. But it's not suddenly, oh, great, I'm up 6%, let's sell. Overall, my crypto position is down. I want to make $40,000 and double my money and then be up by about 25,000 all time overall on crypto. And I'll achieve that. I just have to have patience and wait. So we're not selling our XRP today. We're not selling our Ethereum today. We're not selling our Bitcoin today. So what about everything else? Well, you've got VU, the S&P 500. Well, now we've bought the S&P 500. Predominantly, all of it is below my 20 times earnings. I started to buy it at 20 times earnings and then bought it at lower and lower prices because it went a bit lower. So I didn't get the bottom straight away, but I did when I stayed in and kept on buying. So I could sell my top lots for minimum profit or no profit, just a wash, not a loss. We're not going to sell for a loss, are we? We don't need to do that now. Why would we got plenty of losses and the market's going up? We're not selling for losses now. We're selling for gains now. But what I'd rather do is sell for washes. That's where I don't lose money or don't make any money. So I keep my bank of losses. I simply sell the top lots, and we teach this on Discord. If you don't know what I'm talking about, we show you how to do this on Discord, and I'll be over there in half an hour. We show our top lots. We don't dollar cost average. We don't just click sell because you'll always lose money when you do that. We use our top lots, and for washes, that'll immediately drop our averages. Not that that's important in itself, but it protects our portfolio and gives us more buying power and more margin availability because our portfolio is more secure and safer. We can do that. However, don't want to do that just yet. Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola is a defensive play. I want to be buying as long as that's red. Now, remember, I can turn that green myself at any moment I want to. I am in control of my portfolio. Now, you look at that and go, how can you turn that red? How can you turn that green? You can't turn that green. Yes, I can. If I want to make that turn green right now, that Coca-Cola trade, and be up overall, I can make it turn green. because I'm a bloody wizard. How can I do that? Well, what I do is I go into my top lots, not the lowest lots, the top lots that are making money. I'm not going to sell to lose money. I don't want to bank any more losses. I don't need it. But I can sell some for a wash. I can sell my higher lots for a wash. Make no money, lose no money, and simply sell for a wash, get the money back, put it in my buying power, reduce my margin, and if I do enough of them at the top, my average will fall. That will turn green. My portfolio will become more safe. I don't want to do that today, though. Don't need to do that today because I'm not worried about a big drop or margin call, or I'm just going to focus on earning money. Okay? And you can see Coca-Cola is running up right now. We were down 1.17 a few moments ago. We're now running up. The opens happened. The rotation trades have happened. Right? I am very bullish on Coca-Cola. I see it going to $86 this year, $97 next year. So I'm not looking for early exits. My portfolio is safe, secure. It can drop 40%. I'm not bothered. I have income. I'm not looking for a quick, easy exit. Okay, so if I want to and it goes up and I can sell some top lots, if I think we're getting near the target, I'll do that. I'll sell for minimum profit. There will be some profit, but we can offset it with our gains. My average will drop. Leave it alone. And also, Coca-Cola provides me with a defensive rotation trade which protects the portfolio, and it earns me a good income on dividends. So I'm not rushing for the door. Next, SGov. Well, when the market gets overbought, and we're not, let's remind ourselves when everyone tells you the market's rallying, the S&P 500 is still down year to date. It's been a rubbish year. I'm sure there's going to be people say, oh, it's great, the markets are rallying, oh, I'm making so much money. No, it's not. It's rubbish. And it's also hardly dropped as well. Oh, the market crashed and I bought it. The market didn't crash. This is nothing. The market hasn't pumped and it hasn't crashed. It's making me a lot of money because my portfolio is getting larger and larger by the day. But it's not a big pump. Yes, I'm up 20 grand in a day. That's great. I've never seen 20 grand. It's amazing. I'm humbled and thrilled and over the moon. But I'm also realizing my portfolio hasn't boomed. Not yet. And it hasn't crashed. Not yet. So we're not going to go in safe and put our money in treasury bills. We're not going to do that. That's a safe option. We do that when the market has pumped and it's really high and it's about to crash. Then we want to go into treasury bills. That's what we did earlier last year. We're not doing that. Google, next. Well, Google was never affected by the war. It was simply sold from people who don't know what they're doing, who got scared. It was never affected by oil prices. It was only sold by people who didn't know what they were doing and got margin called and got afraid. Google has a massive price target of $400 and it's going to achieve it. A 12 months target. New deals from the government, new deals, Anthropic providing chips. We haven't even started running with Google yet, and it earns a dividend. I am not looking for the exit there either. Nvidia, the same story. Nvidia, my target is $250. It pays a tiny dividend, insignificant. $250. Bank of America, give it $300. $300. I am not selling it. Not affected by inflation, not affected by the war, not affected by oil. But of course, everyone dumped it because everyone, I'm getting out. So I bought more. Thank you very much. Not selling that. Now, VUG is essentially Google and Nvidia, really. 30% of it is that. Same thing. But it's also got a broader index. It's like the S&P on steroids. It's very tech weighted. And because we had the sell-off in tech, got a long way to go. So I'm not looking right now to sell anything. And as you can see, it's starting to go up. Now, my objective, and you have to know your objective, is I want to take my portfolio to $1 million. I showed you 4 years ago, my target was $5,000 to 1 million live on the show. Nothing to do with income. Nothing to do with just earning $1 million and just putting $1 million in. Real gain, real profit, real benefit. That's what I said I'm going to do, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's all I need, because I have no car loan, no mortgage. I live a simple life. $1 million is great for me. So that's what I want to do. So I'm not looking to sell, but I am looking to pay off margin, because I can't, I mean, I can, but I don't want to live in that amount of margin forever. But the point is, once we start seeing things go up further and further and further, I can't buy anymore. Look at Coca-Cola. Once that hits green, and all of this can get greener whenever I choose to make it greener. Not when the market chooses. Whenever I choose, I can make all of these stocks go even greener and lower all the averages and make it more safe on my portfolio and more likely to not buy. By simply selling the top lots, it'll all shift downwards. That is the power of lots. That is the power of understanding the real complexities of the market. And on YouTube, you're in grave danger every day from crypto channels who don't know what they're talking about, focus on dollar cost averaging, focus on silly predictions, focus on all kinds of stuff to oversimplify, make it entertaining for comic book style people to get them to watch so they can make more money. They're the real villains, not me. When people criticize me going, oh, Martyn just earns money, that's all. No. Not at all, right? Making money is easy. The hard part is to keep it. And there are complexities. It's not straightforward. Investing is easy, but you need to know all the tools. And if you don't know all the tools, you want to join me every day on Discord and I'll explain them all. So there is my Discord and there is my YouTube membership. Right. So there we are. There's the news. There's the update. There's my trades, there's what I'm doing, there's what I'm not doing, and I want to thank you all. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go over to Discord shortly. I will do it on the hour, so that gives me time to do Q&A for you guys and then have some breakfast. I've not had breakfast yet, okay? So let me now change this so we are doing a live members-only event. I want to answer all questions, right? So let me just shift it to members only. All right. So if you've made a question, made a comment, and I've missed it, something you want to ask me, please repeat it right now. Please repeat it right now, and I will answer it right now. Okay. So if you wouldn't mind, that would be great. Okay. So all members, resubmit your comment, resubmit your question. I will answer everything. If someone does a super chat and says, can I call in? You can be live on the show. No one gets left behind. Everyone has a voice. If you want to call in, if you want to be on the show, if you've got something to say, please feel free to call in and you can be on the show. Let me end the poll. Is this a win for the USA? Yes, 42%. No, 39%. And undecided, 19%. So clearly, the yeses have it, but not by the majority, by only 42% though. So not everyone agrees with Pete Hesketh, Trump, that we've won. It's brilliant. It's all great. Most people who have voted don't think it is. All right, so there we go. End the poll. Let's end the poll. So, high energy. Are you still in crypto? I'm confused you asked that, as I've just shared and just shown you my crypto on the screen, but I will gladly show you again. XRP. In fact, I'll just show you the whole thing. It'll be easier. Crypto. I've got $43,000 of crypto. Yeah. If you just tuned in, I'm worried now because I'm thinking, did I not explain it properly? Yes, I am still in with crypto. Absolutely. So yes. Next question. Do you have any more comments and questions? If we don't have any comments and questions, I will, if I don't have any comments and questions, I will end the show and get straight to my Electrum members. One of my non members has just asked this. Martyn, can I ask why you have to explain yourself every time? Well, that's kind of obvious, really, because we're here to help people, provide education, support, and my situation is the same as everybody else's. And people are coming in every day. We've got 112,000 subscribers. New people are watching every day. More people are watching every day that have never seen the show before. People come in at different times. Some people watch for a second, watch for a minute. Not everyone watches the whole thing. And it's important to explain everything. Break it all down. Don't assume that everybody knows everything. Don't assume that everyone watches everything. And I think it's important to be open and transparent. And also, if I explain everything, then you know, there's no doubt in anyone's mind. I don't want anyone sitting there confused. All right. So anyway, are you tired of winning? Yes, I am. Sorry, I have ad. Sorry, I have ad. High energy. I don't understand. You did know I'd stayed in? I'm not sure. I don't know what you mean, mate. Can you please repeat that? Thanks for the show. All Logic, you are very welcome. All Logic is one of my members on Discord. I'll be with you on Discord shortly for one-on-one. I'm hoping to get to getting Discord sorted. So I thought you were, oh, yes, you applied for All Logic. Is that right? You applied for Discord, but your credit card didn't work. Is that right? I think it was that. You know, you can use a PayPal with a credit card. There's different payment systems. Anyway, that's your business. I won't talk about that now. Morning from Oregon. Oregon grown. Good morning to you. Do we have any more members' questions? If not, I will wrap this up. Attention deficit disorder. Who, me or you? Martyn's got a message on Discord. Martyn, got a message on Discord from you in regards to PaySafe or something. Oh my God, not this again.
Admxcheetah tipped $4.99 through Super Chat. Quick tip since we're winning today.
Well, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. If you all made lots of money, I'm really pleased. Remember, I didn't do anything. I simply showed you the way to do it, but you're the one who did it. Scottish Pete, I'm really, really upset to hear this comment. Martyn, got a message on Discord from you in regards to PaySafe or something. Was this you? Well, I'm very disappointed that this has happened to you, but I'm really, really happy that you've checked with me first. That means you are paying attention to the rules. No, it's not me. I never friend request you. I never send you messages. I never ask you to send money anywhere. So no, that is not me. But I'm really glad you checked, because I think you are one of our new members that has come through the new onboarding process, that had the video, the education, and it told you all about this and said, if in any doubt, please message me. So you just did. So I'm really glad that you just did. So Scottish Pete, no, it's not me.
At a Logic tip €2 through Super Chat. Just to thanks.
All Logic, thank you for the super chat. It makes a big difference to the channel. It really does. Thank you so much. The super chats is what gets YouTube to promote us. When people tap the super chats, remember YouTube earn a commission from all of this. They promote the channel. So thank you for all the super chats. And it's how I earn a living. I don't earn a living from ad revenue. You might go, well, I've just seen ads. I earn about 1 cent per person on this show. The only way YouTubers survive is sponsorship. We do none. That's the biggest earner on YouTube. I do none. I choose to do none. I turn it down all the time because I don't think you want to hear it. Number 2, you make money from super chats and memberships, not ad revenue. Ad revenue is so small on a live stream because YouTube hasn't processed the video. You make ad revenue on videos, but I do 99% of what I do live. So we can't survive unless it was for memberships, super chats, and sponsorship. And we have none of the sponsorship. So thank you. So Scottish Pete, did you get that message? Scottish Pete, can you just repeat? Can you just reply back to me that you've heard that. God, I hope he's heard that. Are you here? Can you just acknowledge you got that? Because we've had people get scammed. People have sent money to people, never to get it returned. And you've had I believe you are one of our new members. You've had the video shown to you. I never message you. Sensei never messages you. Vaz never messages you. William never messages you. Casey never messages you. We never friend request you. You friend request us. You send us messages. We reply to them through tickets.
At RoPro77 tipped 20 New Zealand dollars through Super Chat. Martyn, you never have to explain yourself. I can see your success. Yes, I'm not a member, but you and Sensei and Vaz are good people. Just be careful, and I hope you will gain great success.
Thank you very much. What do you mean, just be careful? What do you mean by that? Thank you so much for your New Zealand super chat. That's very kind. I do have to explain myself because I want to be accountable. I make myself accountable. I don't have to. You're absolutely right. I could just say nothing. I could just do what I want. I could just treat everyone like crap. I could make up stuff. I could lie. I could do anything I want. But I choose to be fully exposed, fully transparent, answer every question, and assume that everyone doesn't know anything, and try to deliver the information in the best way possible. So thank you so much for that. But what do you mean, be careful? So Scottish Pete, please reply back to me. Oh, here he is. He's just come back. Okay. Hello from Michigan. Subwoofer. Lovely to have you on the show. Never a win when lives are lost. It's horrible. That to think it gets like this. Yeah, I'm going to respond to that because I think that's very important. Devonshire Worthy, you are absolutely right. One of my favourite phrases I use a lot on the show is don't do the dance. When you make money on the stock market, if you buy a great business and it makes profit and is successful and it goes up,
At RoPro77 tipped 20 New Zealand dollars through Super Chat. Careful Martian in the market, smiley face emoji.
Yes, thank you for that. No, you're absolutely right. I'm always careful. I've not been buying anything on the way up today, have I? I didn't even buy any of this pump, did I? I bought on the way down. Yes, I'm very heavily in margin, extremely. But you saw me today buy Coca-Cola when it went down. You saw me do that. You see me have a defensive play. You see me moving more into the S&P. You see me moving more into ETFs than individual stocks. I think I am very careful, but thank you for your concern. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you to give your second super chat of the day. Thank you. So Devonshire Northie, I say don't do the dance. Yeah, I don't like when people short the market. I understand they do. I don't fall out with you. We have members that do it all the time. I understand why you short the market, but I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's necessary. I know it's part of the game, right? But I don't like it and I'll never do it. Never have and never will. So if you're making money in a war when people are dying and you're trying to drive the market down, you're trying to destroy the market, when people are working hard to survive and build businesses and employ people, I don't think it's very nice. I don't condemn you. I don't dislike you for doing it, but I don't think it's very nice. I would never do it. But if you want to do it, then carry on. But we shouldn't celebrate winning by destroying markets. We shouldn't celebrate by winning when people die. Absolutely not. I couldn't agree more. I feel exactly the same. This is a terrible time. I've made money because there's a war, but I've done it responsibly. I've done it with care. I've not bought any defense stocks. I'm not buying bomb stocks. I don't believe in that either. I don't want to profit from war from that point of view at all. I mean, in the S&P, there will be some defense stocks. There'll be some bomb-making factories. I don't buy them out of choice. I buy problem-solving stocks. I buy businesses that provide value and service. You could argue Coca-Cola isn't great for you, and it's not. But they also provide teas and coffees and water and employ lots of people. So nothing is ethically perfect, but I buy great businesses, and I don't short the market, and I don't try to profit from war. However, when the market goes down, when everybody else sells it, I will buy it. So in a roundabout way, I do benefit from war. However, I don't do the dance. You saw me, kept my head. It was tough, difficult, but I stayed in the market, and I'm not jumping up and down, going, look at me, I've made all this money. I'm telling you how I've done it, but I'm not rubbing anyone's faces in it, and I'm not doing a victory dance, and I'm not celebrating that we've killed loads of people and all that kind of stuff. So I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Thank you, Martyn. Always enjoying listening while I'm working. Thank you, Kimberly. I made money on space. Virgin Galactic. Yeah, Virgin Galactic is started to short squeeze. But you may remember, I told everybody, I gave you the warning, be careful, because I can't buy it, because those that are in this, that can move it and you can't, are very keen to dump it on you. I've told you about Michael Cole Glazier and Eric Kearney and all these people. I don't trust them. I don't like them. The product is great. This can short squeeze, but there are those that are underwater that are looking for the excuse to sell and dump it. So I do put that warning out. So congratulations, but be careful on that one. Scottish Pete, Martyn will never ask you for a payment like that. Martyn won't even friend request you. Martyn won't send you a message. Martyn won't say send money anywhere. Martyn, don't prefer Irish or Martyn, don't prefer Irish or Scottish friends. Everyone's my favourite. On a peaceful market, and what percentage you trim? That's a very direct, simple question, but there isn't a simple answer to that. It will all come about, you're focusing on a percent. So in other words, a price. What I focus on is value. At the point that I have got the best value out of my investment and my business is where I'll trim. However, I can't just say across the board, generically, at what percent do I trim? There isn't a specific number. Every day I reassess, every day I reevaluate, I follow the earnings reports, I understand what's going on, and it's an ever-evolving mathematical equation. Martyn, extremely impressive. You are awesome. Song for Space. Thank you so much indeed. That's very kind of you. What a nice thing to say. Scottish Pete, yep, got the reply and appreciate it. I get your Discord details from your YouTube channel. I did get your Discord details from your YouTube channel. Thank you, Scottish Pete. Great. That person that messaged you, block them. Now, don't play games with them. Some people think it's fun to play games with the trolls. It's not, because they can get information from you. Just block them. Don't waste your time entertaining an idiot when you could be out investing and making money. I know you're enjoying yourself, but don't do it. It's a waste of time. Go and be more productive. We never message people outside the Discord server. No, that is correct. Martyn, loved the Rudyard Kipling If poem yesterday. Melted my heart to hear it out loud. Well, that's very kind of you. Yes, it was by Rudyard Kipling. Thank you. I've used it quite a few times. I own BlackRock ITA. Is it an aerospace defense ETF? Companies are up hugely in months. Of course they are. Yeah. These can also go down very quickly as well. Again, nothing wrong with buying defensive stuff. I have the S&P 500. I'm sure I own them, but it's just not for me to buy individually. I don't want to be buying. I mean, if you actually think about it, you're making money from people buying bombs to kill people. I mean, if you know, if it's investing, all right? You're not killing anybody. You're not bombing anybody. I don't do it, but I don't judge anyone for doing it. All right. I just choose not to do it. It's just made up numbers floating in computers. Unless you have billions, you are affecting nothing. Yes, I understand the point of view. If it's just me, what does it really matter? Well, I could argue, what's the point of recycling my empty can of Coke? Because my one can of Coke doesn't do anything. Well, I can't control what the rest of the world does, but I choose to live a certain way, and I want to recycle. I want to keep my home tidy. I want to be responsible. I want to be accountable, because it makes me feel good. All right. I've got a friend of mine back in the UK, lives right next door to me. And he doesn't recycle anything at all. He throws every single can, every single bottle in the bin. He says, Martyn, 95% of it doesn't get recycled. And I go, I know, you're right. But do you feel comfortable just knowing that you could simply recycle that? What I actually do, if anyone, I've got a bit off topic, is again, I take action into my own hands. When I recycle my bottles and my cans, me and Leah take a trip out to the recycle plant and we put them in the actual box. Those ones do get recycled. So if you're just throwing your recycling out in the recycle bin and hoping that the recycle man will do it, it's not always perfect. But if you collect your bottles, collect your cans, collect your cardboard, collect your paper, and you end up with some proper, easy to recycle stuff, and at some point you take a trip to the recycle plant, on a day you take a trip out into the village, the town, have a meal out somewhere, me and Leah do it. We use it as an opportunity to go to our favourite restaurant. We'll go to a restaurant, we'll have a cream tea, and we'll go to the recycle plant. Excuse me a second. So again, we build it into a way of building it into our lifestyle. So again, a little thing doesn't make a huge difference, but if everybody said that, everything would be a mess. So I know when I buy the S&P, it makes no difference. I can't move the market. But when I buy the S&P, what I'm doing is not only doing a good thing for my investment strategy, I'm supporting the American economy. And I do see it like that. And I do see that I'm being useful.
Called 8,168 tipped $9.99 through Super Chat. Not sure when, but can you put CLF aka Cleveland's Cliffs on the list for a deep dive one time, please?
Yep, I'll do it right now. It goes second on the list. This is CLF, Cleveland Cliffs, $10. Yep, $10 is the minimum price if you want to book a stock review. Let's have a little look. CLF. Yep, I got it. Okay, confirmed. Thank you very much indeed. You are a member, and it's on the list, and that's terrific. So hey Martyn, is VUG too high to buy? Just wondering if I missed the train. Well, that's a very easy way to answer that. A very, very easy way to answer that. Let me go to VUG. You're asking, is VUG too high? Well, of course it was better last week. That's why I bought it. Now, I'll probably go there again if we go back to war, straight back down again, because people will take profits, drive it back down, buy it up. Here we go again. Right. Is it too late to buy VUG? Well, the question you should be asking yourself is not the price too high. You're focusing on the ticker or the ETF. Remember, nearly 30% of it is Google and Nvidia. Is the penny starting to drop? Let's go back to Nvidia and Google. Google is up. Oh yeah, it's up 3.5% today. Was it better last week? Yep. But what's my price target on Google? $400. So would you buy Google today? Well, yeah. Was it better last week? Yeah. But if it goes to 400 and you buy it at 314, is that a good deal? That's what you're buying with VUG. Plus, you've got the exposure of an ETF, which protects you in a more uncertain world. What about Nvidia? Nvidia, it's going to 250 to 300, nearly double in price. Is it a good time to buy Nvidia? Would you buy it? I would. I would. Look, I'm only up 3%. Yes, I've made $1,400. I bought it lower and I'm up 3%. I didn't buy Nvidia to make 3%. I bought Nvidia to double my money. So yeah, buy VUG and benefit from the dividend as well. So is it too late? Well, it was better earlier. Is it too late now? No, absolutely not. Already done that. Scottish Pete, terrific. So, Dalish. So if you short, you borrow someone's stocks, then sell it with a goal of buying back at a lower price and keep the difference. Not something I have done. When you're short in the market, you're putting downward pressure on stocks. You are making it difficult for stocks, businesses to survive. You're putting businesses under threat. When you short a stock, you think you're just on your phone, pressing a button, and you don't see any reaction. You just think, I'm making money. This is how I do it. Right? Shorters always lose wars, but they always win the battles. But they always lose the long game. What's the point? I don't believe in it. I think it's a stupid thing to do. I shouldn't say that, really, should I? I think it's a terrible strategy. But what you don't see is when you short a market, a business, you're putting that business under pressure. You can destroy a business purely through its price action because it can't raise funds. It has to dilute. It puts people out of work. It makes people lose their jobs. You remember when with the Big Short, when Michael Burry and everyone shorted the market, a handful of people made money. Millions lost their homes. Thousands lost their lives. People got divorced. People fell out with each other. That's the reality of shorting the market. There's real pain the other end. So I just don't want to be in the world being part of that. I don't see any point. I bought space at 219 and sold at 315. Oregon, fantastic. Congratulations. You did exactly the right thing. Fantastic. Martyn, I like the first comment. You showed it quite often. We don't trade while others are dying. Yeah, don't do the dance. Don't celebrate if you've made money. I don't see it's right. Love to recycle, Liz. Yeah, I like to do it. I think it's the right thing to do. Bless you, says All Logic. Thank you. Petra, I love to recycle too. Plus, I don't buy stuff in plastic as much as possible. I live close to zero waste. That is fantastic, Petra. Congratulations to you. It's a good thing, right? It's also much more healthy as well because your plastic leaches into your food. Plastic leaches, when you put it in the microwave, it's even worse. Everything should be in a paper bag, a bottle, a wooden box. Should never be in plastic. And I know it's impossible to avoid it unless you live on a farm and you grow your own food. But yeah, it's virtually impossible. But yeah, plastic leaches into everything. In our clothes. So if you've got synthetics, If you've got nylon, synthetics, it's plastic. It's leaking into you all the time. Yeah, we don't know yet the damage that we're causing ourselves. It's why cancer's through the roof. Never existed in the way it does 100 years ago. Anyway, I'm 22, Alex. I'm 22, and the fact that you do not take care of the environment, and you do take care of the environment, means a lot to me. It is a serious problem for the younger generation. I wish more people had the same mindset and values as you, Martyn. Well, Alex, let me put it to you like this. When people say, I don't believe in global warming, that's fair enough. If you don't want to believe the science, it's up to you, you know. If you say, I don't believe in recycling, no one recycles it anyway. You can have all these opinions. Of course you can. Say what you want. It's your life. Do what you want. But I see it like this. I see the world, which I live in, the environment, as an extension to my home. My home isn't just my four walls that surround me in my house or my car that surrounds me. I don't have a car, but if I did, that space is what I own, right? I also own the earth. I'm responsible for the earth. I'm merely a caretaker. I don't own it. I don't even own my house, because eventually somebody will be living in your house. 100 years from now, somebody else will be living in my house. Somebody else would be driving my car if I owned a car. So you don't own anything. Not really. You simply are the caretaker of it for now. Someone's going to get everything that you own today. It's true, isn't it? You don't own anything. You don't keep anything. So don't focus on that. Focus on what you can give rather than what you can take, because you don't own it anyway. So if I live in a house, assume most people do, right? And I keep my house clean and tidy, which I do. I want to live in a clean environment, a nice, tidy environment. The bed's made, you know, the lounge is tidy. My cushions are all fluffed up. The carpet's vacuumed. If I want to live in a nice, tidy environment, well, don't I want to walk out my front door and see the same? I've never understood when people walk outside and throw their rubbish outside. I don't understand. In the UK right now, we've got fly tipping. People are going along into the countryside and emptying their rubbish into a field, creating all sorts of pollution, which leaches into the water, which you then drink yourself. You can go to a recyclable plant. You can go to a tip and take your rubbish legally. I don't understand why people do that. We've all got a tip or a recycle plant near us. Rather than driving to the local field, drive to the recycle plant. I don't understand why people do that. It's lazy. Maybe it's 5 minutes further down the road and they can't be bothered. But you want a tidy house. Now, what I've discovered, though, is the people that tend to throw their crap out of their car window when they're driving, or throw their crap out of their house, tend to have a crappy house inside as well. That's just the way people are. If you come to my house, the first thing I ask you to do is take your shoes off. Have respect for my home. Take your shoes off, as I have respect for you. And once upon a time, I had someone come into my house with a small child, and they knew it was take your shoes off in Martyn's house, but they didn't do it. I waited to see if the parent would do it. The parent knew, but couldn't be bothered to confront the child to say, take your shoes off, which teaches the child respect, teaches the child discipline, and also is respectful to me. They did neither. A few moments later, we're in the lounge and the child is on my sofa with their shoes on, that they were just walking outside in whatever they walked in. Think of it. Jumping up and down on my sofa. So jumping up and down on it with their shoes on. And I sat there and I was fuming. And I turned to the parent and I said, can Could you ask your child not to jump up and down on my sofa? Could you ask your child to take their shoes off while they jump up and down on my sofa? And what they said to me was, if you're not happy, you tell them. Like I'm supposed to feel guilty for having standards and respect in my own home from your child. That person wasn't welcome back in my house again because they had no respect. Their child had no respect. So I asked them to leave. I said, I'd like to ask you to leave, please, which upset my girlfriend at the time because it was her sister. And I said, I don't want them back in my house. They have no respect. They are rude. They're bringing up their children to be disrespectful, horrible individual people. I don't want them in my house. I want nothing to do with them. I don't want to surround myself with your sister. Well, that's my sister. Well, I don't care. This is my life and I choose who's in it. And if they're rude and ignorant and stupid and disrespectful, I don't want any part of it. So I asked them to leave. And I never had my girlfriend's sister ever again back in my house. So that's it. I tend to find that people that do throw crap everywhere tend to have a crappy home themselves. But I think that the world is an extension of our home, isn't it? I mean, if you think about it, I mean, what goes on outside affects what's inside. I mean, the very air you breathe in your house, even if you've got a filter and air conditioning, comes from outside. The water comes from outside. Everything you eat comes from outside. So isn't the outside an extension of your home? Isn't it your garden? When you see cars driving down the motorway and they throw their McDonald's out of the window, they just throw it out the window. I have actually been known for doing this in the UK. If someone, if you're at a traffic light and you stop and you throw your rubbish out of the window, I have been known to get out of my car, pick up the rubbish and throw it straight back in again. And now they've got Coca-Cola and chips and burgers all over their car. I've done that. I do not like, and I believe if you stand by and do nothing, you are complicit. Is that the right word? Complicit to it. I think we all have a responsibility to take action. I remember my dad used to tell me, he said when he was younger, that if a child misbehaved, the policeman would clip around the ear hole and march them back to their parents. Now no one does because they might get sued. They might get told off. If we all took action, the world would be a better place. But nobody wants to take action anymore. Everyone blames somebody else. Everyone thinks it's someone else's responsibility. If someone loses money on the stock market, it's somebody else's fault. It's not them. It's me. It's Martyn. It's Donald Trump. It's the war. I've not lost any money. Take responsibility for your own actions. Buy value, says RV Capitalist. Yep, thank you. You're a legend, says Paul. That's very kind of you. What a nice thing to say. Some stocks deserve to be shorted, though, but I understand the sentiment. Well, let's take Dave Mitchery. Dave Mitchery set up Mullen. He's gone bankrupt half a dozen times. Does it on purpose. It's a scam stock. It's a terrible stock. Yes, it is. It's corrupt. It's terrible. Loads of businesses. I don't particularly like Virgin Galactic's management, right? However, remember, the business employs people who have nothing to do with the stock. And the business itself then has a knock-on effect. Take Spaceport America, Virgin Galactic. People that work there spend their money in the local community. They rent cars, they rent houses, they live there, they do all sorts. It affects a wider market. The thing is, you can easily make money in the stock market by buying great businesses and investing, and you never need to short. I've just shown you this morning. A prime example of that I'm doing all the right things, and in where is it? Stocks, ETFs, and in 1 year, 28%, 118 grand, and I've never shorted the market, never done options. None of that was crypto either. So you can make money, you can be successful without doing the bad stuff. So why do it? I'm richer than I need to be. I'm doing the right thing. I don't have to stress. I don't have to worry. I don't have to try and destroy a business. I don't have to buy any bombs from a bomb factory. I don't have to do it. I just get on and focus on great businesses. So there you go. That's the answer to that question. It's like yin and yang, light and dark, everything in perpetual balance. Correct? True. Plastic is so unhealthy. It is. Now, why does it exist? Remember, every single food manufacturer is a business. Did you know inside a can of Coke is a plastic bag? Did you know that? If you cut open a can of Coke, it's lined with a plastic bag. Did you know that? Have a look. It's not a can of Coke. It's because the Coke will affect the metal and it would start to rust and it would start to degrade it because of the acid. They put it in a plastic bag, and the plastic bag leaks poisons into you. Full-on poisons that give you cancer inside your can of Coke. Now, when Coca-Cola used to be in glass bottles, no issue at all. At that time, cancers were a lot less than 90%, I think it was, back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, than it is today. Plastic is a bad thing. So why does it exist? Well, because the business that makes the food isn't there to keep you from being hungry. It isn't there to feed America because we love America. It's there to sell you a product to make money. So it wants to do it in the most efficient way possible, in a way it can operate at maximum profits. Do you know that in the United States, a simple French fry from McDonald's has about 20 ingredients, not just paper, salt, and oil. About 20 ingredients. Why? So they can store it, freeze it, move it around, be efficient. In the UK, those ingredients are marked as poison, and they're not allowed to do it. And go to the United Kingdom, go to a McDonald's, have a McDonald's French fry, and I guarantee you will tell me it tastes a lot better. It's not oil, it's not slimy, it doesn't leave you feeling sick afterwards, it won't give you cancer, it is potatoes, salt, and vegetable oil. That's it. Ask yourself why. Because in the United States, you're allowed to do it. So they do it, and they make more money. Simple as that. It's more expensive to put Coke in a bottle than it is in a can. So they put it in a can to provide profits to their shareholders. Me. So there you go. Plastic is a bad thing. It's a terrible thing. It was created to be efficient, to make profit. That's it. It's a terrible, terrible invention. I mean, think about this, folks. All the plastic things that we ever made, ever, since the beginning of the very first plastic thing we made, is still in existence today. It's either been recycled into another plastic item, or the plastic is sitting in a landfill or at the bottom of the ocean or inside us or an animal or a fish. It still exists. Takes thousands of years for it to break down. Why did nobody consider this when they made the first plastic toy, when they went from a wooden one or a metal one to a plastic one? Why? They did it because it's cheaper and more profitable. But nobody ever said, if we make a toy for a 5-year-old child, that in 5 minutes they'll be bored and never play with it again, why have we made that product something that will last for 1,000 years? It needs to basically last 5 minutes because the child is simply going to throw it away, not even going to play on it. Think of when a baby's born and you go out and you buy all these plastic rattles and toys. Within days, weeks, it doesn't use that anymore. It's outgrown it. What do you do with it? Recycle it. Doesn't get recycled. 95% doesn't. Where does it go? Goes in the sea, goes in the bin, goes in the landfill, and it leaks into our system. It's chemicals. It's terrible stuff. If you can, buy your child a wooden, or give them a cardboard box. A cardboard box, because they'll enjoy it just as much. And that is recyclable. It's crazy, isn't it? Plastic is a terrible, terrible thing. It was invented to make money. It wasn't invented to help anybody. Cleaning while listening to you, Martyn. Cleaning for the future owner. Wonderful. Love it. You're cleaning the house for the future owner. But isn't that a good thing? Isn't that a good thing? Some people say, why am I bothered? Why do I care? Why do I want to take care of the environment? Why do I want to take care of the house? Why do I want to take care of anything? Because it's all going to somebody else when I'm dead anyway. Well, the same reason as why I buy great businesses. Why I build a YouTube channel. Because one day when I'm not here, my channel will live on. The next person could destroy it. Probably will. Won't be as good as me, right? The point is, I'm building something that I can pass on, that can live on. I can't control what the next person does, but I can leave my home, my stuff, my representation of myself on earth in the best way possible. I can do that. And that is what I endeavor to do. That's why I buy great businesses. I don't profiteer from a war. I'm not going to be told that I should buy the latest new bomb factory that makes bombs to kill people because I can make 20%. Because I will go, I can make 20% by buying a business that doesn't kill people. Yeah, but Martyn, you're all getting silly. We're just here to make money. Well, yeah. But I can make money anyway. I'm not asking you not to make money. You can. I'm not asking you not to drink Coca-Cola. I'm not saying don't go out and buy a plastic bottle. I'm saying, if you can, buy a bottle. If you can, do something else. That's all I'm saying. Wow, says Paul. Wow what? Wow to what? Gotta run, take care all. Martyn, talking facts, spot on, rhino skin. Take care, logic, Petra. Save the whales. Save any animal, really. But also, again, be educated about that. 99% of all species that ever existed do not exist today. A scientific fact. 99% of all species of animal, insect, everything you want that's ever existed doesn't exist today. Does that mean we've killed every single animal? Well, we've done a lot of damage. Yeah, we have. But nature evolves. And there are animals and insects and fish and different things that existed in the past that have evolved that can't exist today. You can't have dinosaurs walking around, can you? Dinosaurs became extinct. They wouldn't work in today's society, would they? That's not because man is big, bad, and horrible, but how can you have a Tyrannosaurus Rex walking around? You can't, can you? So it's common sense, right? Evolution evolves and things change. Things come and things go. Humans haven't been here for that long either, if you look at the history of the world. And we might not be here in the future. So it's okay. Things evolve, right? So yeah, we want to save the whales. But remember, things do have its own lifetime, its life cycle. Things do come and go. It's okay. But yeah, we don't want to do any damage. But you also need to manage it. You can't, it's like if you've got too many deer on a farm, or you've got too many foxes, or too many badgers, or too many this, you've got to manage it. You can't just let it run riot. All right? So save the whale, save the shark. No one ever says save the shark, do they? The shark isn't very nice. Oh, no, get rid of all the shark. No, the shark's important to the ecological system. The spider, the ant, the mosquito. In fact, I don't think the mosquito does any good. Anyway, the point is education, respect all animals and wildlife, and try to protect what we can, but also allow things to evolve. I do a lot of head shaking and disbelief around people. Same like you do, Martyn. Yeah, bloody right. I do not like lazy people. I do not like rude people. I do not like disrespectful people. And I cannot stand stupid people that don't see what's right in front of them. Those people, in my mind, are a waste of space and they use up oxygen. If you are a stupid person and you refuse to listen and you refuse to open your eyes and you only believe what you want to believe because it makes you feel good, you are a stupid person and you'll never be invited to my house or dinner with me. I cannot waste a single second entertaining a stupid person. Didn't want to take shoes off because holes in his socks. Well, no reason for that, is there? Complicit, that's the word. Thank you. Thank you, Catalina. Complicit. I don't believe in shorting. I'd rather double down when prices fall. Spot on, stocks, crypto. Exactly. You can do the same thing. Double down when prices fall. Martian space still going to... Martyn, I think you mean. Martyn, space going to 5 or 10. Yes, could still do that. Absolutely. Polymer coating. Ah, yes. Unfortunately, a lot of cardboard that we could recycle and papers is covered in polymer coating. And I think that's what Thomas Morrow is talking about inside the can of Coke. It's lined with plastic. Good day. It's a better day today than yesterday. Today, I want to be happier than yesterday. I also invested in Coca-Cola. Spot on, mate. Liz. Jacko. Smiley faces. Leave a place better than when you found it. I agree. I feel that's our responsibility in life. I believe it's our responsibility to leave things better than they found it. I try to do that every day around the house, and I fail miserably over and over again. You know, you want to always keep straight. You always want to keep tidy. You always want to keep on top of things. You want to keep a nice, organized life where you're on top of things. And sometimes it's hard, right? You work, you get behind, you get lazy, you get out of bed and, oh, I'll make it later, and then you don't. I try to do this. And it works sometimes, not all the time, because I'm a human. I break and I make mistakes, make mistakes all the time. But this is what I try to do, and why I love what I do here with this job. With YouTube, I walk into the studio, I turn the camera on, and I'm surrounded by this amazing studio that I created. It's amazing in here. It's the best man cave in the world. It's brilliant. It is, without doubt, the best live streaming studio on. I don't think anyone has got anything even close to this. I've got an amazing chair that was given to me by the Lucasades. See this chair here? That's embroidered silk, by the way. See on the back of that chair? See on the back of that chair? That is embroidered silk. This was made for me by the Lucasades. Look. See that? I wonder if I can zoom into that. I'll show you something. Look. I'll try and zoom in. Where is it? Oh, no. Oh, hang on a minute. Of course I can. Why am I being so stupid? Right. Okay. Let me just zoom in. Right. Right. There you go. Right. There you go. This chair was given to me by the Lucasades. On the back of that, that's my logo. M for Martyn, L for Lucas, M for the UK, L for America, because Leah's from America. In between, you've got the microphone. See that? That's the king of the microphone, because I'm from England, and I've got the crown on the top. So that's what it stands for. But that is silk embroidered into my chair. That was given to me by the Lucasades. They surprised me one day, I think for my birthday or whatever it was, and they now call me the chairman of YouTube. It's awesome, isn't it? Isn't that absolutely amazing? It's also on the front as well. If I unzoom out and I go back to the lights turned down and I go here, see it? It's also there. Look at that. So when I come in the studio every day, I've got this amazing place that I created, and the Lucasades too, with the chair. And I've built a world that I like. And in here, I choose to do the right thing. The hard thing. I go live all day. I try to be the first 1 billion channel in the world. And I try to do everything right. And whenever I enter a space, just do one little thing. Don't go, well, I've got to vacuum the carpet, do all the dusting, I've got to cut the grass, wash the windows. Oh my God. Oh my. Then you do nothing. You get overwhelmed. But I walk into a space, make it that little bit better than when you walk in. Get a cloth, soapy water, wipe down the surface, get rid of some dust. One little thing, take you 10 seconds. Fluff up a cushion, turn a light out that's been left on. Save some money, do something for the environment. Do one little thing. Empty the bin. I don't know, anything. Just one little thing as you enter that space. When you leave that space, it was better because you were in it. That makes you feel good. It's another win. And if you go through life, keep winning, you're a winner. And when you're a winner, you succeed. And when you succeed, you feel happier. If you allow yourself to fail, it's okay. We all fail. We're human. We're flawed. But when you fail, try again. And come at it again. And keep trying to win. Because the moment you just give up and allow yourself to fail and lose, you're a loser. Then you sit on the sofa. Then you get fat. Then you do nothing. You achieve nothing. You gamble. You guess. You become stupid. You eat food that's just is bad for you. You absorb bad information because it makes you feel better. Remember, everything you consume is a business. So if you feel bad because you've allowed yourself to become a loser, you don't go out and eat carrots and drink water. You eat food that makes you feel better initially, quickly. So you eat processed food because it's got chemicals in it which trigger the brain to make you feel good. That's what you were sold by the manufacturer. We can fix that, Martyn. If you sit on your sofa and eat chocolate and crisps and cakes, we'll make you feel better. You'll feel crap later on, but then you'll just eat it again to make yourself feel better again. Right? And then because you've now got fat and you're eating crap and so on, then you'll go, I want to watch some TV that reaffirms my beliefs. I don't want to challenge my brain. I don't want to question anything. That's uncomfortable. I want to feel better because I'm a loser now, remember? I've given up. I'm a loser. I want to go and watch something that tells me what I want to believe. Whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. And as I showed you yesterday, if you watch Fox or CNN, if you watch either one of those channels, you get one side of the argument. We discovered that yesterday. I showed you how they were reporting on the war differently. Same news was shared differently. So if you love Trump, you watch Fox because it tells you everything Trump does is great. If you watch CNN, it tells you everything Trump does is rubbish. It makes you feel good. Why do they do it? Because they're trying to get you to watch, make you feel good. You're losing. You're eating your crisps, you're eating your cake, and you're watching a TV channel that just tells you what you want to hear. You're providing no value, no service. You are simply consuming the product, whether it's the food or the TV. That's it. Do what's hard. Get up, go for a walk. Go to sleep. Drink some water. Get some exercise. Educate yourself. Challenge yourself. And I don't do it. We all fail every day. I love a bag of chips. I love a bag of chocolate. I love biscuits, right? But wherever you can, just try and be a better version of yourself and just keep trying. So that says to what Kembley just said, leave a better place than you found it. Always enter a space and try to leave it just that little bit better. And I tell you what, you will feel so great. If you managed, when you get out of bed in the morning, the first thing that you do is make the bed nice and tight. Hospital corners, military style. Get it looking really nice. When you walk in and out of the bedroom throughout the day on the way to the toilet, you smile going, looks nice in here. If you walk past the bedroom as you go about your life and you pass it, you always go, look at that. It looks crappy, doesn't it? It just looks crappy. It makes you feel crappy.
At RV Capital Insight tipped $1.99 through Super Chat. Stock advice and life advice only with the Lucasades.
Thank you, RV. That's very kind of you for the Super Chat. Jacko, and more are becoming extinct. You're very, very true. Getting back to the animals, absolutely right. More are becoming extinct all the time. You're absolutely right. Well, I love airplanes. Yeah, I love airplanes as well. All money is not good money. True. Save yourself from contaminants. By doing that, you help save the environment. Yeah, it's a win for everybody. It's an absolute win for everybody. If you buy bottles of glass bottles of Coke, then cans or plastic bottles, it's a win for you. It's a win for the environment. Absolutely. Wow to parents and child's to parents and child's disrespect to your belongings. Yeah, bloody awful, Paul. Wise words. Thank you, guys. The gal to tell you to say something is the gal to tell you to say something. It bothers you. Yeah, it does bother me. Yeah. Aerospace, kind of the future. Ammo is depleted. Number goes up whether I hop on or not, like getting on a train. Yeah. Aerospace, kind of the future. Ammo is depleted. Numbers go up whether I hop on or not. Yeah. Still don't need to do it though. Just because you can doesn't mean you should, does it? I mean, there's loads of things in life you can do and everybody else does it. Doesn't mean it's right though, does it? I don't know. We have dinosaurs in Congress that need to go. MX Childer. Steve Jobs said death is the single greatest invention. It makes way for the old to make room for the new. Spot on. Dead right. Liz. A bat eats 50 grams of mosquitoes every... Oh, is that right? Whoa, that's amazing. Wow. Even in Tulum. Even in Tulum? Where's Tulum? Yes, says Jacko. Was talking about you, Martyn, only kidding. It's all good, mate. There was so many, Jacko. When you fumigate mosquitoes, you are disseminating bats. Or decimating bats. Bat shot is the best and most expensive organic fertilizer. Oh, bat shot is the best and most expensive organic fertilizer. I remember when it took a bit of getting used to. Bat excrement, that's what you meant, yeah. If I see a crumb on the floor, I've got to pick it up. Sometimes I eat it to recycle. I'll be honest. If we're preparing food and I drop something on the floor, for 1 second, I'll pick it up and eat it. If I'm, you know, whatever. If it's on the floor and the floor's dirty and it's been there for 10 minutes, I won't. But yeah, if I, you know, very often, you know, if I drop something and it doesn't get damaged, I pick it up straight away. Yeah, straight away. That's a neat seat. Thank you, Kurt. I don't want to brag about it, but Sensei was absolutely sure yesterday about a no ceasefire today because of polymarket odds. Then I said the polymarket is often wrong, and I was told I am wrong. Pop in. Well, obviously, I can't comment for Sensei, right? Nobody knew, and I did in my show, and you may remember, I said I don't know what is going to happen, but I said I'm going to win either way. And I said to you, if the war comes to an end, my portfolio would go up. And it did. If they'd invaded, my portfolio would have gone up. So I was right. I don't know what Sensei said. I wasn't there. Polymarket is a tool that Sensei uses, and it can be useful. I don't use it. It's not for me. However, I can see the benefits to Sensei using it, but I don't use it. In fact, I don't use charts at all. I don't do prediction markets at all. I simply buy a business under value, and that's it. That's all I do. I had the most simple strategy there is, and I always win. But, you know, that's not to say it's the only strategy. We all do our own thing. Polymarket is a useful thing. Sensei uses it. It's not for me. I don't use it. But I can't comment on what Sensei told you. I wasn't there. I wish Sensei was here today to answer that. It would be great, but unfortunately he's not. So I can't speak from on his behalf. Martyn, only 6% of VUG is Google. No, it's not. UK investor, you're absolutely wrong. Let me show you. VUG. Go to VUG. Go to top 10 holdings. 6% is Google. Oh, hang on a minute. You're right. No, you're not. That's Google A. And another 4.5% is Google Class C, which makes a grand total of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and a half, 10.2 to be exact. Well, they're about 10.2. So it's not 6%. It's nearly double that. Okay? Because GOOG, Class A and Class C, is still the overall business. It's divided into two separate parts because one is a votable business for its shareholders and one is not. But the overall portfolio is over 10.2%. All right? So UK investor, you're wrong. Thank you for bringing it to my attention, but you are wrong. You can see it on the screen right there. But thank you for saying that, because a lot of people might have thought the same thing. 5 seconds rule, bro, you're good. There you go. As long as you don't have dogs and cats, you can eat that. Exactly. Oh, yeah, I don't have cats. If I had cats and dogs, no, because they walk outside, no, obviously not. I'll be eating all kinds of stuff, wouldn't I? God blessed it. God blessed it. The devil missed it, and I ate it. Ah, I think we have Sensei. I think, right, Sensei has just sent me, I think Sensei was listening in. So he sent me a message. Yes, I certainly can. Okay, so here we go. This is important because someone has messaged. Hang on. Someone just spoke about Sensei's polymarket. And I've now got clarification from Sensei. So let me bring this up. Right. Pop in 1994. You are commenting saying, I don't want to brag about it, but Sensei was absolutely sure yesterday was a no ceasefire. I am absolutely confident Sensei would not say one way or the other, will there be a ceasefire or not? No one knows. Sensei doesn't know, right? Sensei was absolutely sure about a no ceasefire today because of poly market odds. Then I said the poly market is often wrong, and I was told I am wrong. Pop in, I now have a response from Sensei, so I'm going to read it to you, and I'm going to show you what he actually said and what he actually did. So, let me just get this up. This is important.
I can't believe this.
Just
A
trying to
Defense
find it.
89 has become a member.
Yesterday, I'm trying to find it. Ah, here we go. Okay. Okay, so this is what was actually said and what was actually actioned. It's important. So bring up your comment again. I don't want to brag about it, but Sensei was absolutely sure yesterday about a no ceasefire today because of poly market odds. Then I said that poly market is often wrong, and I was told I am wrong. Okay, so what Sensei did is this. This was on Discord. This is in Sensei chat in Sensei's corner. All right. So if we bring it up here on our Discord, Sensei's corner, Sensei's chat. Everyone can access this account, whether you are a Discordian or a newsie, right? Sensei, what he actually said was this. Yesterday at 1 minute past 8, this was the moment that we got the news, right? This was last night. He said, after discovering that the market odds of a ceasefire was only 2% today on Polymarket, I placed a 500 bet down. Upon checking now, my trade never went through due to my location settings. That $500 would have equated to $20,000. Bloody hell, is that how much money you could have made? Flipping heck, look at that. I am frustrated, but there is always opportunities and I will control my emotions. I have shared a clip of this morning show when I say it's worth taking a bet on a $5 bet equals 238. Most importantly, this is great news for the world and the people of Iran who were terrified of what was going to unfold. Thank God for the deal. Let's hope it holds and the war ends. And there is the video when he did it. Now, I don't know why Sensei's put it on its side, but there's the video. Let me unmute this.
By today, I mean, it's worth taking a bet on, isn't it? By saying, yes, there is going to be peace today. But it's 2%. That would mean if you put $5 down that there's going to be a ceasefire today, you'll get $238 back again.
There you go. He put that in his morning show. So I think what you said there, Poppin, wasn't exactly accurate. And we've shown you a clip from the show, and then it was shared in Discord as an example to show you what happened, and now we're sharing it here. Oh, hang on, I can call in as well for 5 minutes. Yes, Sensei is going to call in. Yeah, do that. Sensei is going to call in and be on the show. So, Sensei, I'll give you the link. If I can give you, I've got a new link. Call in on this would be great if you could. There you go. I'm going to have Sensei call in. Is Poppin, are you still here? Let me see if you are, because now Sensei is going to call in to the show as well. No, sadly he's not. That's a shame. Poppin is not watching. So he's made a comment and sadly not here. Let's bring Sensei. Sensei's here, by the way. Guess one. There he is. Assign. Guess one. And go over here. There we go. Sensei, good morning to you. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely pleasure. So yes, we had a comment, and I've just shared your response. Poppin says sadly he's not watching. Very often that happens. Someone says something, disappears, and we get the answer and they miss it. But yeah, but anyway, it'll help everybody else. I don't want to brag about it, he said, but Sensei was absolutely sure yesterday about a no ceasefire today because of polymarket odds. I said to him, you wouldn't possibly know what was going to happen, but you placed the odds and strategy both ways. All right.
Yeah.
Then I said, Poppin said, the poly market is often wrong, and I was told I am wrong. Would you like to respond to that, Sensei?
Yeah, I love these comments because it really helps us clarify these and the situation. So no one ever knows if there was going to be a peace deal or not. And one of the tools we use, and it's not a sole tool we use or a tool I use, is to look at the market odds. Just like if you're going to watch a Liverpool versus Chelsea game and you want to know who's more likely to win, well, the betting market's going to give you a better indication and going to give you better odds for the team that's most likely to lose. So it is quite an accurate market, especially if there is a lot of volume on it. If there's a lot of people placing bets, the market's more accurate. However, just like a game between Liverpool and Chelsea, who knows who's going to win, or Liverpool and Everton. Liverpool's probably going to win, but Everton might come in front. What we can do is use these tools, but we can never know what's going to happen. So on yesterday's show, I was explaining to Poppins that you can't say that polymarket's not accurate because polymarket will show you the odds of what is likely, what's unlikely, but no one knows at the end of the day what will happen. So I certainly did not at any point in my show yesterday say that there's not going to be any peace deal today. In fact, as the clip that you showed, I very much said, wow, the odds are quite low. I mean, it's definitely worth looking into placing a bet, a trade, that there is going to be a peace deal because of how low those odds were. So, in fact, I might have said the opposite. But yeah, at the end of the day, no one knows. And also, the market didn't know that if the market was pricing in a peace deal, we would already be up 2% yesterday, maybe another 1% today. It's clear to see that the market itself, the stock market, wasn't pricing in a peace deal, because if it was, we wouldn't have gone up as much on that on the news, because it would already be priced in. Just like when we know there's going to be a rate cut or a rate hike, the market's already priced it in since we knew about it. So just like what David Schwartz said about XRP, he said if there was a 10% chance that XRP is going to go to $100, we would already be at $10. So there's less than a 10% chance we're going to $100 because the market's currently pricing XRP at $1. So if there was a 10% chance we're going to $100, you could assume that XRP would already be at $10. So in that sense, there wasn't a big expectation of peace yesterday. We did get peace. If I had to choose yesterday were we going to get peace or not, maybe I would have said probably not. But there's no way I would say there is no chance of peace yesterday. And of course, in that clip you played, I even said it's actually definitely worth taking a trade. And I was very, very frustrated yesterday when I learned that my trade didn't go through, because we have restrictions here in the UK with Polymarket. And you could say that maybe they didn't want to pay me out or whatever. But yeah, so I'm glad I could clarify that for everyone.
Let me just take that off your face. I apologise for that. Let me just get rid of that for a minute. Thank you very much for taking the time to call in. Where are you now? Looks like you're in a lovely place.
I was just on a walk.
Oh, absolutely beautiful out there in the woods. Absolutely great. So if that had gone through, your $500 investment would have made you $20,000.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about it too much, otherwise it's going to make me upset again. But
that is incredible, isn't it? My God.
Yeah. And that's why I do look at. I mean, when the war broke out, I posted these trades actually about oil. And the market wasn't pricing in oil to go up to $100 to $110, and I didn't really want to take a long position, a call option, because there's different risks with that. You have to get the timing right. So I went on Polymarket, and there was great odds for potentially oil going above $100. And all it has to do is go above $100. It doesn't have to stay there. It doesn't, and we took a bet there as well, and that was yielding a couple thousand as well, just from £200. So there is opportunities. I like to look at Polymarket, and yes, it is going to be mismatched at times, but just like the betting market, I guess you can make some money on it as well. But yeah, 20,000 would have been nice, but
Wow.
unfortunately here in the UK and in the US, poly market is not really accessible without a use of a VPN or something of that sort. So I don't condone the use of it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thanks for sharing that, and thanks for clarifying that. I'm sad to see that, unfortunately, Poppin wasn't in. I keep checking if Poppin is in. Please respond, but I don't see you in the chat. But hopefully it helped everybody else, and maybe you'll watch later. All right, Sensei, I'll let you go. I'm about to wrap this up and go to my Discord. I believe you'll be back in a couple of hours, right, with the FOMC minutes?
Yes, I will be live later today. I think, in a couple of hours with the FOMC minutes. It was very interesting last time. We got a lot of information that wasn't part of the FOMC last time. So I assume we'll get the same. So it's going to be a very important event.
Yeah, guys, if you're not familiar with the FOMC report, these drive the markets, and what they say in the minutes is important. And I love the way Sensei covers this. He does a better job than myself. Otherwise, I'd cover it because it's a very, very popular stream. Whoever covers it gets a good stream. But Sensei, you'll be doing. Will there be information in the newsletter? Is there anything like that?
I'm going to send something out shortly in about an hour's time, just to get everyone prepared for it, and then we're going to do a debrief because it's such an important event. The FOMC, it's like behind the scenes of what the Fed were discussing before they chose to come out and give the interest rate decision and the speech. So it's all the behind the scenes of it.
Yeah, I strongly recommend you go and watch that, folks. When I cover the FOMC, and I have a different style of it, Sensei actually does you all the numbers and what it means and presents it in the newsletter like a cheat sheet alongside the event, and really, really well worth watching. I actually use it for my own strategy. I will be watching the FOMC when Sensei goes live with that in a couple of hours, and reading the newsletter as well. So if you've not got the newsletter, we're doing a 50% off this week as we've just released the training course. It's now out to everybody, and you'll get that information that Sensei's putting together for you right now. He's out there having a walk, contemplating the information, and then he'll process it all in a couple of hours, in an hour's toast time. So make sure you watch that. That's where we go to next. If you join me on the extra channel, I'll give you the link from there. Is the event set up yet, Sensei? I doubt if it is it?
No, it's not set up yet. But yeah, you also get, just as we were discussing the oil trades and stuff, that was also part of the Discord as well. So Martyn showed you Sensei's Corner. I do jump in there and share some of our trades, do some stage events. And obviously there is also a private area for the Sensei members, as the Sensei News members as well. So you can get all of that as part of the newsletter deal as well. And also Discordians get a lot more perks now as well. So I'll be in there after the event, potentially to do a debrief or do some more stage events as the week goes on.
Spot on. How do you feel today, Sensei, after not having the all-out attack, annihilation of the civilization? How do you feel?
Yeah. Brilliant. I mean, that was one of the things that allowed me not to be so frustrated with my trade, because at the end of the day, as I said in that post, it's so much more important that we get some peace and resolution in the world. I mean, that's more important than any amount of money. To me, anyway, I understand. Some people might be very happy with their portfolios there, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it allowed me not to be so frustrated with my trade because it was just such great news. And I just hope it holds, and I hope we get a final resolution, and it's not just 2 weeks, it's forever.
Perfect. Thank you, Sensei, for calling in. Enjoy your walk. You're making me jealous. I wish I was in England right now, being a walk around the forest. I go out here and it's just baking hot, and it's all concrete. I would love to be back in my village in Cornwall, walking around woods like that, down by the river, on my little boat. Oh my gosh. I so can't wait for that day. Anyway, Sensei, thank you very much. Look forward to your show at 12:30. Look forward to reading the newsletter. I'll let you go, and thanks for calling in, and love to all your family in Iran. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
There we go. There's Sensei calling in. Hopefully that clarifies Poppin. Sadly, he wasn't here to be part of that, but we did our best to provide the information. Right, straight facts only. Yes, how to bet in poly market. Join Sensei later on Discord for his event. Join him at 12:30 for the event. The FOMC. Ask the question. He'll put you right in touch. It's not what I do. I don't do that kind of thing at all. Maybe I should. I'm missing out. Imagine how much money I could have made with the money I got. Anyway, there you go. I would rather always win than sometimes win, sometimes lose. That strategy is not for me. It's not for everybody, but it clearly would have worked for Sensei there big time. Anyway, Okay, we got someone just become a member as well. Pro Row, thank you. It's actually warm and not raining in the UK today for a change. Lovely. Cheers for another great show, Martyn. That's it from me. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Thank you ever so much, everyone who tapped the like button. Thank you to all of you that also... Oh, my like button didn't work. Hang on. Hang on. My likes are out of sync. Right, try again. My likes are out of sync. There we go. There you go. And thank you very much for subscribing. There we go. There's a little bit of a delay. There you go. Right, guys, I'm out of here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over to Discord in half an hour. There'll be a Discord event in half an hour on the hour. But what we do now is rewind what you've missed, send you to the extra channel. That way, if you've just tuned in, you can pick up what you missed today. You won't miss anything. So live now on extra. Live now on extra. Please do, if you are a fan of the show and just want to help us grow, please do support us on Extra. It helps us get to the rest of the world because they all tune in at different times, right? So by going to Extra, you could put it on mute, walk away, leave it alone. You're helping the channel grow and supporting us because you're helping us find a new audience. So let me just show you what we're going to do. There is Extra. I'm going to go now to Extra real time. Upgrade the screen. And replay today's show. There it is. From the beginning. There it is. Takes a couple of seconds. Right. In a couple of seconds, you'll see that change. We don't do what Bloomberg does. Simply plays the same video over and over again for years and years and years. I didn't even know they get away with it. What I do is restream what you've just missed for people that are tuning in around the world. And as you can see, it's going to start the show. So you may have missed the first half an hour. Now you could watch this one as a past live stream, or you could watch it on Extra, which gives you the live chat. So you can see what was said during the live show here when it went out, but you can also see the chat live right now. This is people in there. If I go there, hi Tidy. Tidy Big Dog is our #1 supporter by miles, right? Tidy is always supporting the channel. He's one of our top ambassadors, and he wants the channel to grow all around the world. So he's in there chatting to people 24/7. There's always somebody now chatting. It's amazing. I want to big up Kimberly, All Logic. A lot more and more people are doing this. There was a time when the Extra channel didn't have anybody in the chat. Now it's 24/7. There's always somebody in. And what we do to protect the channel, because it is 24/7, you know, when I'm asleep, we make it members only. Everyone can watch, everyone can listen, but if you want to chat, it's a member only. It's a different channel, so it's a separate membership, but it's only 99 cents. It never goes up. It never will go up. There's no inflation, but it's just enough to keep everybody from spoiling the experience. So there you go. If you go there now, I'd really appreciate it. Whether you're watching on the phone or whether you're watching on the widescreen TV show, it will take you there automatically. There is a link in the chat for you to click on. All right. So there you go. So that's where we're going right now. Please do join me. That's a way to talk to me off air. I will also see you in Discord in about half an hour. Sensei will be back in 2 hours for the FOMC event. Very, very important event. You need to make sure that you watch that. I think it's a very, very important event. I'm just going to make sure that I have got it set to go there. Yes, I have. That's all good. Just do all of that. I don't know why I double check myself, but I always do. Yeah, we're all set. We're all good. All right. So that's it from me. Thank you very much indeed. I'll see you over on Extra right now on Discord in half an hour. Was there any questions I missed? Hey, Martyn. So when you started with 5,000 views ago, so basically identified a few stocks to buy now and sell high. I don't understand the question. Hey, Martyn, so when you started with 5,000 a few years ago, you basically identified a few stocks to buy low and sell high in your Roth IRA. Yeah, I buy and sell in my Roth IRA because there's no tax. It's tax-free. You don't do tax lots in your Roth IRA. There are none. Only on the main account. Your Roth IRA, you can't, there are no lots because everything is the same. It's just all tied up together. Scottish Pete, that scammer yesterday asked me to put shares into crypto, then transfer them to a wallet, and he would talk me through it. Yes, he was going to steal your money. That's right. He was going to steal your money, but you did the right thing because you watched the video, and now you know, and it's really good. You're always right. You win so much with your predict stuff. You're always right. You win so much with how you predict stuff. Thank you, Defense. Yeah, I'm going to take it because it's true. Solomon, I can't look now. I've got to go. The show's ended. But my portfolio is going back up again. It's great. We bought the Coca-Cola dip this morning. Very, very happy with that. We're not gambling. We're not guessing. We're always winning. We're always going to win. If you want my trades, I don't know why everyone is not a Discordian and a newsie, because we're giving you 50% off the newsletter. There it is. If you want all my trades 24/7, one-on-one support, you see how often I win all the time. Join me on Discord or YouTube membership Electrum. If anyone is investing and you're not a member or a Discordian, I don't understand that. I don't know how you can't be. It's only a couple of bucks. I mean, I could make it $100 and still have the same many members. All right, that's it from me. Thank you ever so much. See you on Discord in 20 minutes. See you on Extra right now, and then back in 2 hours, just under, with Sensei's FOMC report. That's it from me. Take care of yourselves and each other. Bye bye.